I've also
Perfect.
clicked start recording. Hello.
Um,
I'm gonna do my intro to the video
do your thing.
separately. That
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
that's
did.
cool. That's cool.
I did.
I mean, personally, I'm just going to leave all this in.
alrighty then.
All right, who wants to start us off?
I will.
Go for
Let's
it.
do it, boss.
Yeah, I'm the newbie, but so I'm Lucario Man, and I'm the captain of the El Paso Pokemon Club. And I am joined today by the almighty mystical Leafian, captain of the Toronto Leaf Storms. By the way, that is a really great logo,
Just to
bro.
be here.
I also love that logo, to be fair. I think it's a very good logo.
People were. I'll give you some people in the PDL, a different draft league, were hating because it's AI generated. But
Nah, come
what
on,
I'm
it's
saying is
amazing.
that I can never make something like even half as good as this, man.
No,
I'm just saying it's
and
so convenient.
and me as
Anyway.
a graphic designer who specializes in esports
Oh,
logo, I gotta say
yeah.
that I do use AI, but just to get some inspiration because it's really
Mm-hmm.
good. And then I'm also joined by Mario from the Nottingham
The Nottingham
Nickets. Is that?
Nickets, indeed.
Yeah, Nickets. There you go. All right, sweet.
Pleasure
So
to be here.
yeah. No, and thank you guys for inviting me.
Nah, that's cool.
Absolutely, man. It's always good to see newer faces in draft.
Yeah.
I'm just getting
Mhm.
back into it. I think I've joined three up. It's gonna be three upload draft leagues for me anyways, and I'm just getting back into the stuff.
Just
I
this
love drafting.
season?
Just this season, yeah. But like they're all sort of like spread out, so like one just started and one is going to be starting,
Gotcha.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yep, and then just for the viewers, I will be putting the links to your YouTube channels,
Oh, for sure.
so,
For sure.
Hell
down
yeah.
below in the description.
Yes. I will be
So
doing the same.
all
Yeah.
right, thank you so
100%.
much, guys. And I'm gonna start with my own team.
That's it.
So I gotta be honest, I was gonna try to go for the gouging fire, the paradox of
Oh yeah.
Manate.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
But then that one was taken like I think like within the first three
Yeah.
people on round
Yeah.
one they picked it, and so I was aiming to get Corviknight, because he provides
Okay.
coverage for
So
the
solid.
exactly, it's a solid coverage
Hmm.
for the raging not the raging bolt, the gouging fire, and then when
Hmm.
it was taken the only other option I had was raging bolt.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of why I got a raging bolt. He was not my the first Pokemon that I wanted on round number one, but I think he's a solid Pokemon overall. He has a special attack of how much?
It's
Let's take.
strong. I think
Yeah, yeah.
it's
It's very
strong,
strong.
man.
Stronger than Fluttermane.
Every time I'm gonna be honest, every time I face this in the draft, I hit it with so
Hmm.
many things, it doesn't die. It's so tanky.
It
It's
is.
got an amazing move in Thunderclap, so even if you want to
Exactly.
outspeed it, it's a problem. It's a problem. This
It
Pokemon is.
is, and then it has a special attack, a base special attack of 137, and I think it's really strong. The obviously, like you mentioned, it has the Thunderclap, the
Mhm.
Thunderbolt, and then the Drake Meteor. And just overall, I think it's a really versatile Pokemon. You don't really like you can use the Volt Switch, to pivot into something better, and I'm actually looking forward to using this guy. What do you guys have to say?
Honestly, like, and you don't. It's such a versatile special attacker. Like it, whatever. If you need a strong special attacker, you look at Raging Bolt. Like it's got Draco
Hmm.
Meteor. It's got Calm Mind, so it can't be a setup there. Or you can just run. You can't just run specs. This thing, like you said, it
Hell
has
yeah.
base
Hmm.
137 special attack. This guy is Noah slash 410 special attack without any boosts, and pair that on, like something is dying. If you don't have a special wall or an electric type or fairy type, this thing is dying. Like something is just dying
Yep.
to it.
Yep. Completely agree. Raging Bolt is just, it's so good. It's so good. And it does such a good job of like forcing switches, and if on that turn you click Calm Mind, suddenly Bolt is even more of a threat.
Forgot about Calm Mind, I gotta be honest.
Calm Mind Raging Bolt is really, really good. I have Raging Bolt as a Terra Captain in like a showdown like Ubers League, and it's so good. It's so good. It literally just does whatever you need it to do in a matchup. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's not forget it has boost energy, so
Yep.
if you don't want to get knocked, you won't take that much damage, and you get the free boost to special attack. I think you would only go special attack. I can't really think you go anything else. I'm not sure you can really go anything
Okay,
else.
second highest stat is HP, so it's not going to get it in that. But the next highest actual stat is like
defense, and you would need to
defense,
go like
which
0, 0.
if you go bold like max defense, it hits 309,
Yeah.
and without any investment, special attack is 310. So you would have to go like you'd have to take away
like,
IVs to get boosted defense.
You need 29 IVs.
Yeah, which
that's
is really
pretty fun.
funny. But you could do it, like you could if you really, really wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, like that is what's cool about draft. You can't run these funky sets. Might work, might not. I would also like to give us an honorable mention as an item. You run a resist berry. It just makes this thing like they might think to blow you up with a ground type or like a fairy type move, and you have the Shucka Berry on Duck, and you just Draco them and they die.
Yep.
I think it's so cool, especially in draft. A lot of the like ground types are more like physically based, like Gliscor, Landorus.
Yeah.
They can obviously run SPDA, but it's just something you could catch off guard, and I think it's so strong.
There's so many dragons in this format as well that like I personally I'm a big fan of like Haban Berry. If I have my own dragon into another dragon, I will just really like the idea of just going Haban Berry to like take whatever dragon move I want to go for, and then just fire off with my own dragon move. Like that's I'm a big fan of that.
Alrighty, and then I want to talk about, let's see, the Palafin Hero.
All right,
hell yeah,
you're up, Mario fan.
Okay, so I am 12th pick. Gotta say this here, 12th pick. How the hell does this Pokemon make it to me? Is what I would like to open with, because this Pokemon is amazing. Like, okay, obviously, the first set everyone will think of, right, is just Choice Band. You've got Jet Punch, you have Wave Crash, you have Flip Turn, if I can spell Flip Turn, and then just like close combat, you know? And this thing hits like a truck, because if you look at this thing's stats, in its hero form, obviously you've got to switch it out first to activate the zero to hero ability, but that's not really that difficult if we want to be honest.
Yeah, no, Flip Turn, there you go.
Yep, exactly. Flip Turn is an amazing move to help with the pivoting. But once you get the hero form activated, it has an attack stat of 160. So this thing with a Choice Band is very, very
come
strong.
On. That's a nuke right there with the Choice Band, dude.
But I'm also a big fan of just like a leftovers bulk up set.
That's what I was about to say. Bulk up Drain Punch.
Yeah,
they were testing this guy in OU, and they still thought it was still strong.
Yep.
Even though, and honestly, like in draft, I don't see a world where you never not like lead it just to get the Palafin Hero immediately up.
Well, okay. Funnily enough,
even if
funnily enough,
yeah,
I do have Palafin in the same team as that Terra Raging Bolt team. And I don't actually think I've led Palafin once yet. Which is kind of like weird to say, but like I just haven't, because I kind of have a kind of similar team to what I made here. It's kind of like soft rain. It's like I have a rain mode, but I don't have a rain setter. But I have like Klefki and like Iron Jugulus. So I have Pokemon that can click Rain Dance, but I don't have like Pelipper or like Politoed. But
I see.
And then it's all that with the Station on top. It's actually a really fun team. But yeah, like Palafin, I don't think I've actually led Palafin at all. It's I always find an opportunity to like bring Palafin in as like not like a revenge killer, but if something else faints, I can bring Palafin in, kind of force a swap because they're scared of Jet Punch, and then just like Flip Turn or just hard switch out. So that's the way I personally actually like to play the Palafin. I will rarely lead it because I think that because people are gonna prep for the lead Palafin, right? So
Mhm.
if I don't lead it
That's
suddenly,
true.
that throws them off their game plan. And as someone who,
Yep.
personally, my
But
biggest
how can you
struggle with
prep for
battling
it though?
is the
How would you
prep.
prep for
Well, you prep for it
Elephant
by
League?
like you need something with setup, right? You need something that isn't like super weak to water and that can click like a setup move. That's personally, that's what I'm
Hmm.
scared of when I consider
Or
leading Palafin.
or a or a water absorb or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like
Like
that,
if there's an ogre
maybe.
upon Wellspring, for example, like
Yeah.
odds are I'm not gonna lead
No, like
Palafin.
even so, like your speed tier is so nice. It's base
Yes,
100.
yes,
So
100.
like for this Pokemon, it's so
Like
fast
yeah,
that maybe
it's
you can afford to not run Jet Punch in certain
oh
matchups.
yeah,
You would
oh
probably
yeah, no,
want it
I
to, but
completely
like
agree. I
you
completely
run
agree.
bulk up, so you tank
Hmm.
hits a lot easier. You'll recover that with Drain Punch, and without Jet Punch, maybe you'll run. It gets Ice Punch. It
It does,
gets
yes, to hit dragons, which
it
is
gets Ice
nice.
Punch. It gets like Iron Head. It gets Outrage for some reason, and it gets like
That's real.
Dark Move. It's got a Taunt. Taunt could be super nice just to block like defensive Pokemon switching it. I
Yep.
think this Pokemon is so nice, man.
Hey, don't forget,
This Pokemon is
don't
so
forget,
nice.
like a throat spray boom burst set. Yeah, okay.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not
If we
that.
want to be serious though, another
Yeah.
excellent move it gets is Encore, because like on an Encore bulk up set, or you can have Taunt as well to like if you're going
Yeah.
against like a pretty like balanced like team. Like you can taunt, sort of cripple a Pokemon, maybe like Clodsire, and then you can maybe set up a substitute, and then click bulk up, and then
Yeah.
go from there. I think it's a really, really versatile Pokemon. It's for what it is. Like, there's a reason this thing is in the highest like point category. Like, this thing cost me 21 points of my 125 point budget.
Whoa.
So that is
Which is
that
pretty
is a big
interesting,
chunk.
like-
That's almost like 1/5 of your points
Yeah,
went there.
yeah. It's very, very expensive, but
Mhm.
I think it's justified. I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
it's amazing, and
Mhm.
100 speed, while pretty
Mm.
fast, it's not the fastest. But
Yeah, it's
spoiler
not.
alert, I have a way to help myself with that.
All right.
Foreshadowing is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
narrative device.
yeah. I can see the tailwind from a mile away. Like
Hope you have enjoy your three
yeah,
turns,
the
man.
tailwind is gonna be very very useful in this matchup, especially with the and also with the King Gambit. You know, like the King Gambit. Definitely.
Whoa! Spoiler alert. I do have King
All
Gambit.
No,
right.
no, no, but
Anyway.
like I think your team is very solid because it also has web support.
Yeah.
Like-
Whoa! Spoiler alert, guys. What?
But it is solid. It is solid. It is solid.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I do have ways to help Palafin's okay speed tier. It's
Yeah,
basically the point.
exactly.
And I am really looking forward to using this thing.
Mhm. All right.
Alrighty.
Let's go to Kieran, brother. Get us started.
Alright, so funny thing is I didn't draft Kirim first. I drafted Slowking Galar. And
Oh.
also I think Slowking is more expensive than Is Slowking more expensive than Kirim? I think it is, right? Hold up. 2 seconds.
I think Curum's 19, isn't it?
No, Kirim's 19. Kirim's 19. I have the numbers
Yeah,
switched up in my
'cause
thing.
look,
So
I got-
Kirim's 19 and
I got killed with Curum.
But like,
last
I
season,
think
so.
time we should say how if you haven't seen it already, if it wasn't in like an intro or something, the way that the draft order was created was really it's. I mean, it's definitely unique. I've never seen it being done. So instead of
Yeah.
actually like you randomize something and there's your list, you go reverse snake, blah blah blah. They actually do like they do the randomizing, but then you get to choose where you get to be. So
Yeah.
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 I'm looking at my thing. I originally, I think, I was like, I don't even remember, but I was like pretty much at the bottom, and that's probably the worst place you want to be for.
Yeah, you were
picking your
you were
spot.
11th because you were one above me.
Right, and no, you were first. You were before me
Was I?
because you picked. Yeah, because you got like number 12, and I got 11. Anyways.
Yeah.
I get the 11th pick, so I have not many options at this point. All the good Pokemon are gone. But I didn't know that I wanted to use some sort of pivot team where Kyurem or maybe Baxcalibur was the other one I was looking at. Spoilers alert, I only get one of them. But
Mm.
it's sort of this thing like I want to get something that hits hard under snow while not like sort of going the snow mode entirely, like not leading into that.
Hmm.
So that's why Glow King is my first pick. I've seen a lot of people use it, and I think it's
Hmm.
just a very solid Pokemon. And with my placing, if I don't pick it first, I'm not getting it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
fair.
that's the
that's a
biggest thing.
fair
I knew I
assumption.
wanted to use this Pokemon in the beginning. In fact, I think I knew I wanted to use at least 3 of the Pokemon in my top
Hmm.
5 immediately.
Yeah,
And it's just kind of cool. It's a cool Pokemon. I mean, I don't need to explain what it does. Everybody knows what it does, and it is gonna force some prep.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it does.
It clicks chilly
Nah,
It,
reception.
I'm just
it's
kidding. I
just
know what it
exactly.
does.
It's just
um,
a defensive big guy. He's gonna be annoying. He's gonna sit
yeah,
on
he is. He
all
is.
your Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's also pretty strong as well. Like, don't forget, this
Yeah.
thing can set up Trick Room for itself. It can then click like Nasty Plot, and then it gets
Oh.
like all the coverage moves.
It gets
Exactly.
everything
Like
regular
actually, like
Slowking
I'm
does
just
as
scrolling
well.
through this thing
So
coverage. It gets everything.
it doesn't get
It
scald,
does.
which is the sad thing.
Okay, but
like
it has
it's Gen 9,
Surf.
not a lot of
It has Surf.
it has Surf, it has Earthquake for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine.
It has
Don't
Nasty
forget its
Plot,
ability to click
obviously.
Thunder Wave. Also, don't forget its ability to click Toxic Spikes.
G-Wave, Toxic Spikes, Trick Room. It's a solid Pokemon, and it's definitely something you can build
Mhm.
around.
Yeah.
And obviously regen with Chilly Reception.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Very great
That's
combo. Very great.
that's
combo.
the main thing. That's the
Mhm.
main thing. Does also get
Mhm.
Belly Jump. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And then, so I mean, while we're talking about your team, go ahead and talk to us about your pick number 2. What? I mean, now I don't know. Was it the Kyurem?
It yeah. So So by the time it comes about, to me, I was actually debating this with Mario fan in DMs. Like, do I go for a solid ground type now, or do I guarantee I get like the mode I want? And
Exactly.
eventually, in hindsight, maybe I should have picked. I was looking at Iron Treads maybe, but that guy got taken pretty early. Then I was thinking of just getting a ground type first, but at the end I decided I don't want to risk it. At least if I have Kyurem, I can build stuff around it. It's not the end of the world. And Kyurem is my second pick.
Hell yeah.
He is quite
Mhm.
expensive. He is only 2 points less than
He is very
Calvin.
expensive. Look, I can give
Which
you.
is
I can
sort
give,
of-
I can
which
give
is
you an explanation
something.
for that. I can give you an explanation for that. Okay, so basically, last
yeah.
season of the SPDA, I got Kill Leader with Cure, so they respect this Pokemon.
Mhm.
Nah. Were you in the last season of SPDA?
I was in
remember.
Ultra Ball, but
Ah,
that
you were
was
in
that.
Ultra Ball.
I
You
got
were-
Cure.
You were with the
it
cool
was
kids.
yeah. I got Cure and Kill Leader across all divisions,
Mm.
so they respect this Pokemon more now, which is why it's more expensive.
Yeah, Kyurem is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very strong Pokemon, honestly.
It is. It's really really good.
Yeah, and he 19 points was kind of like thinking, but I was like, hell, I wanted to use this Pokemon. I was looking at Baxcalibur, but then I realized
Yeah,
like Kyurem can also
That's what I
Dragon
was
Dance.
gonna ask you. So why Kyurem and not
Yeah.
the Excalibur?
So Baxcalibur, thought was relatively one-dimensional. I know it is very strong. Don't get me wrong. It is
Mhm.
very, very strong.
Very.
Baxcalibur has 145 attack,
Yep.
and it has access to Dragon Dance.
Yep. And
I
it
mean,
can't be
like,
burned,
if you
which is
played
also very
any
important.
OU in the early gens, you know what this guy does. It gets Dragon Dance, it gets
Mhm.
Swords Dance, and with
Yeah.
the addition of Loaded Dice and Scale Shot and Icicle Spear, like, this Pokemon is a monster if you let it get to +2, but that's just it. If you can't get it to +2 in a lot of situations, then what do? You kind of waste a moveset on Sword
Yeah,
Dance or
fair,
Dragon Dance.
fair.
Yeah.
And
And
Choice Band Glaive Rush,
Yeah.
Glaive Rush is an option though.
or you can run Choice Bandit, but then you're kind of weak to hazards. Same with
Yeah.
Kyurem, but I think Kyurem
Mhm.
is like just. I'm not saying that base 145 attack neutral isn't like strong, but Baxcalibur's speed 87. I don't think it's fast enough to compete with, like, if you want to put out immediate pressure. I don't think it's as good as Kyurem, because Kyurem, even if you
Mhm.
don't know if it's not like if it's not HDB, you might think it's okay, so it's going to be Scarf, it's going to be choice specs, it's going to be something like that, but it can run a
Yeah.
lot of things. And I think in the draft format, I like a bit more versatility and
Yes,
Mhm.
stuff because Kyurem also has Dragon Dance.
it does.
Kyurem also has Dragon Dance. It has. Now it can't tear, so it can't exactly hit a lot of things for good damage.
Yeah.
But even with Dragon Dance, it also gets the aforementioned skill shot, Icicle
Yeah.
Spear, and
Yep.
maybe just something like even like Freeze Dry if they bring out like the water.
Yep.
I think it's pretty
Freeze
interesting.
dry's a big one. Freeze dry's a big one. That's
Exactly, and it
it's
can hit.
yeah.
Yeah, it hits. It has a lot of coverage. It's got, I think, a set that I saw being used in the OU ladder was AV. It's got Focus Blast. It's
Yeah,
got Ice
yeah,
Beam.
absolutely.
It's got a lot of stuff, right? And
Yeah.
I really like that stuff in draft.
Yeah. I
And it
mean,
gets the
yeah.
defense boost from the Slow King, and if you run
Mhm.
Specs Blizzard, like that is immediate
Absolutely,
damage pressure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the big like
Mhm.
it's got immediately damage pressure. If you don't have a water type, oh, you're
Yeah.
getting freeze dried.
Yep.
And I don't know if you mentioned this already, but
Mhm.
another thing that I like about the Curum is that you can bring him physical attacker or special attacker. Like he's
Exactly,
got
exactly.
130 and 130. So that is OP in my opinion. And
Yeah.
Yep.
let's see. And feel free to tell me, I'm not gonna answer that, but I just noticed one thing. I'm
Mhm.
going through the shorts and everything here. I don't
Mhm.
see a rapid spinner or a defogger on your team.
Uh,
Um, so,
that is
bro,
something funny because I did realize I needed one. And
uh
I mean, I
huh,
might as well just say it. Mousehold is my only form of hazard
yeah,
removal.
Indeed.
But
and
into this type of team, I
you can
I
still use a taunt to prevent the hazards.
Yeah, like you have time to
exactly,
play.
right.
Like your
And
team
if
being on the bulkier
I
side,
have a
there's
lot
nothing
of
wrong
like
with just like
setup
heavy duty boot
potentials,
spam as well.
like
Yeah.
HDB spam, like if okay, Moltres 99% of the time is running boots. Like
Hmm.
even even if I did have hazard control, it's running boots anyways. Like,
Yeah,
it is just
exactly.
running boots anyways.
Hmm.
And
I Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I just wanted to ask that
Mhm,
question
mhm.
out there. But let's see, Mario. Let's go to your number two
Yeah.
pick. Who
Yeah.
was it?
Okay, so my second pick, right? So obviously Palafin, it's obviously very good, but it's not the fastest
Of
thing.
course,
So for my second pick, I wanted something that could abuse rain because I got Palafin round one. I told myself if I get Palafin, then I'm gonna go
of
rain.
course. Yeah.
And then secondly, I wanted something fast. I wanted something just to outspeed stuff potentially, or force people like with Palafin,
Hmm.
anything around like 120 around there, we can just go like
Mm,
adamant or modest, right? I don't want
mhm.
that. So my second pick is Tornadus Therian. This is a Pokemon I haven't used before, so I'm looking forward to using it. And
Yeah.
basically, this thing has 121 base speed, so it gives me that amazing speed tier.
One
Also, it
hundred
can click
percent.
Hurricane without me having to like sweat every time I click it in rain.
Yep.
Obviously, it's also like, got pretty good like item versatility. Like, obviously, it has
Yeah.
regenerator, so you want to make it a bit
Mhm.
bulky with like a salt vest, you absolutely can do. You
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
also just
U-turn.
easily go like heavy duty boots and like a nasty plot
Hmm.
set with like U
Yeah.
turn and hurricane and whatever last move you want last. Maybe you want like
Yeah.
focus blast for the coverage.
Yeah.
Probably won't be running heat wave too much because I do have rain, but I'm sure there'll be
Mhm.
a time where I'm like okay I probably need the heat wave if I'm going against like a sizzle or something, you know. Also gets
Of
knockoff
course.
to just help make progress.
Hmm.
Weather ball as well. Don't be sleeping on weather ball because
Yeah,
it
weather ball. I was just
with
about to
rain
say.
up that's gonna help me with like bulky fires, which I don't really need a
Mhm.
lot
Yeah.
of help with, but it gives me an option.
Yeah,
It
and
just gives me
Tornadus
another
does learn
thing.
the chilling water.
Yeah, yeah. Chilling water's
A
another
lot of
option.
random Pokemon does get chilling water. I'm not gonna lie. Grass
And
knot.
yeah,
I think the best
grass knot's
set
a
on
big one.
Torn is always just Nasty Plot, especially if you're using it under rain. you are just going to be running Hurricane. Or it
Yeah,
also
yeah,
does
yeah.
get its signature move, of course, is Bleak Wind
Yeah,
Storm.
Bleak Wind Storm
It's -1, but it is
for the chance
pretty
to
like it
to
is.
slow speed, but I will probably want the more immediate like
It is just
hurricane damage.
Hurricane, right?
Also,
Exactly,
don't forget if
exactly.
I'm like a little bit behind in a game and I get the
Hmm.
hurricane confusion into like them hitting themselves, suddenly I am
Hmm.
way more back into it because my team is very. It's going to be like most games against me are going to be pretty short because I've pretty much drafted like hyper offense, like just like weather hyper
No,
offense.
it is just hyper
So
offense. I'm
any
not sure
turn
there's
where
another
they
way.
just aren't able to like do what they want to do,
Uh-huh.
i.e., hitting themselves in confusion, like that's a massive turn for me, huge turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Hmm.
Torn just fulfilled a niche that my team needed. It's the fastest thing on my team by a,
Yeah.
a decent margin.
By a lot. By
Yeah,
20.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
a
And
decent
then,
margin.
yeah. And another thing that I like about your team in particular, so overall, it has a 97 average on the attack.
Hmm.
And then on the defense, it has 94. Dude, that is really, really good.
Yeah,
Which look like if you're looking at the team, like it doesn't look like it should have high defense, right?
No,
It
no,
really
fair,
but,
fair,
doesn't
but
because
but
it is.
yeah.
you can't underestimate Palafin's defense, Araquina's defense. I have okay.
No,
Spoiler
because
alerts. I
check it
also
out.
have like
You have
So,
Chaladon,
Future, you have
like
Fortress.
so
Fortress.
obviously the Fortress has the 140, and
Mhm.
then the Archaldan has 130 defense, and then the
Mm.
King Gambit has 120,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah,
stupid
exactly.
Pelipper has 100.
Yeah, can't forget poor Pelipper's best stat.
Yeah. No. Overall, I think your team is looking very strong so far with the
Uh-huh.
Palafin and the Tornadoes, as well as with the Slowking Galler and the Curum, bro.
Yeah, I think for the team styles that you and I wanted to go for, I think we probably
Yeah,
got like a couple of the best picks we could have wanted.
Hmm.
for sure,
Hmm.
for sure.
All right, go
All
And
on.
then
right,
Hit us with your second pick.
let's. I'm
let's
gonna
go
go
for
for
you.
yeah for
Go
my
for it.
second pick. I decided to go for the Corviknight. Because like I
Oh.
mentioned, like I'm gonna make this like super quick. So I picked Corviknight because obviously he's a default user,
Yeah.
and then because he's a steel type, he resists fairy, and because he's flying, he
Hmm.
does
Hmm. Hmm.
resist the ground. I mean, not he doesn't resist the ground. He has immunity to ground.
Indeed.
Exactly.
So he pairs really good with the Raging Bolt, and then
Yeah.
obviously he does the body press. He can U-turn to pivot into something better, and then hold on, I'm gonna sneeze, but give
Okay.
me your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Corviknight Raging Bolt. If you've seen any OU team with Raging Bolt, it's probably gonna have a Corviknight just because they pair so well next to each other. You get that Volturn core immediately going. Like you said, they cover each other's weaknesses really well. Raging Bolt's weak to ground, fairy are the big ones. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what? Corviknight resists and is immune to both of them. Corviknight is weak to
Yeah.
electric, fire. You have a dragon type and dragon
Yep.
electric type and Raging Bolt. I think they're very solid together. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also really like this starting duo. Now I will say 67 base speed, 75 base speed. I would like to see something a bit faster soon, but I'm sure you get something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that being said, I'm gonna jump right ahead into my number three.
Hell
So
yeah.
for my number three, I actually decided to go for perhaps my second favorite Pokemon, and
Okay.
Mhm.
since he was just released shiny, I
Oh.
decided to go ahead and draft him. So I actually went for the Keldeo.
Yeah,
Uh,
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
with Pokemon
so
Home.
yeah, so with the Kildeo, he has the 108 base speed, which I think it's not the best, but it's like it.
It's very respectable. It's like
So strong, dude.
Galvangula speeder. It's like Angela
Mhm.
speeder. It's
Mhm.
respectable. There's a lot of stuff that are like
Yes,
between like 100 and like 106 that like
I think
Keldeo
yeah,
is just gonna
matched.
outspeed, which is what
yeah,
I think your team really likes here.
exactly. I was gonna go for the what the Primarina for the Fairy
Mm,
Core, but
mm,
then it was taken, and then I decided to
yeah,
go for
yeah.
the Kildeo because he's really good. He has one what is it, 129 special attack,
Hmm.
and then he also learns the secret sword, which is special attack, but it uses the defense
Hmm.
instead of the
Hmm.
special defense for the damage
Yep.
calculation.
Hmm.
So I think that gives me an edge, and overall, most of my Pokemon are actually special attackers, at least the strongest ones. So I feel that Keldeo will give me like that ability, to go up against perhaps a special defense wall and then
Hmm.
just hit him with the defense instead of the
Yeah, I
special
really like that.
Hmm.
defense.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
that's
mean,
all I'm
I
gonna
really
say.
agree.
I've used this Pokemon multiple times. If you play Gen 5, you know what this guy does. He's so strong, man.
Yeah.
He's got Substitute, which is honestly a really good set, and it's got Calm Mind as well.
Yep. Calm
So
mind.
like
Don't
it
forget
Mhm.
about
is like
vacuum
it,
wave as well. Priority is really, really nice to
Vacuum Wave,
have.
something it did
Mhm.
get this gen, which is they gave Vacuum Wave to a lot of random Pokemon,
Yeah,
Luna
yeah,
and
for
now Iron
sure.
Valiant. But Vacuum Wave is so strong because even that just means you can run like less speed because maybe they have a dark type that they
Yeah,
I don't know why you would
exactly.
bring out a dark type against this thing, but it is
Mhm.
or just like neutral priority. It's so strong. It's got Calm Mind. You can run Modest. It gets almost 400
Mhm.
special attack.
It
It's
also
got a
has
great
very
speed to
respectable
it, like you
bulk as
said.
well. Like 91, 90,
Yeah.
90 is very. It's
Oh
very
yeah.
decent. Very, very decent bulk.
Hmm.
So you
Mhm.
can easily run
It's a
like a
shame.
bulkier like leftover substitute calm mindset. Like
It's
Yeah.
a
And
shame that
he
it's yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that I just realized that he does learn the flip turn in case you do need that pivoting Pokemon.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you've
Mm.
got three pivoting Pokemon right now. Like Keldeo can also go like Specs or
Hmm.
Scarf. And Flip Turn is
Mhm.
obviously an amazing move on Pokemon that want to win a choice item.
Or
Yeah.
even just maybe an assault vest, like you said.
Yeah,
90
yeah,
is
for
not.
sure. AV as well,
It's not.
100%.
It's definitely not terrible. It's just a shame that, like I was about to say, its ability is kind of pointless. And I wish Keldeo. I've been saying this for a while. I wish Keldeo just
Yeah.
had a better
Yeah, that's
attack
fair.
set
Yeah,
because
fair.
it has Secret Sword. You'd expect this guy to be attack, but it's not.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've used this Pokemon. It's very nice. And honestly,
Mhm.
I wanted to get this Pokemon alongside Kyurem, to get that. I don't know. I
The
just
gimmick.
wanted to use it. It just seems like it seemed like a really good Pokemon to bring
Yeah.
and just to have on a team.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
For sure. All right. So who wants to go next for their third pick?
I will, because
Uh, yeah,
it
go for it.
feels like we've got a little
Yeah,
a
All
yeah,
right.
snake
go for
Who
order
it.
of
was
our
your
own
third
going
pick?
on here,
Hmm.
and I seem to be in the middle. So my next pick, okay, this is definitely the Pokemon I'm most excited to use. Let's be honest. So my third pick is
Mm.
Arachnid, and you might be thinking, oh, so this is a weird pick to be getting third. This is my first Terra Captain. Now, my three
Mm.
Terra types: Ghost for spin blocking, Steel for spin blocking, like Mortal Spin from Glamora, and then Terra Water because I just want to click the funny button. I am more than happy to slap a choice band on this thing. More than happy, right? Because Terra Water, choice band, liquidation, spoiler alert in rain,
Yeah.
are gonna two-hit KO basically any Pokemon or one-hit KO like less bulky Pokemon, apart from like water absorbers or like storm drainers or any Pokemon like that. If a
Mhm.
team doesn't have like a good water check, then
You're
Arachnid is
killing.
gonna mess you up.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially in the rain and I was wondering like why does he bring like Terra Ghost and you just revealed that because you want
Yep.
to be able to block the rapid spinners.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
Because obviously this thing is going to be hitting very, very hard, right? But it also gets
Oof.
Sticky Web, which is a hazard I can set on the opponent's side of the field, which any grounded
Of
Pokemon that
course.
switch in will get an immediate -1 to speed, which is the main sort of synergy I had in mind with the Palafin.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
that's just going to allow Palafin to click buttons even more easily.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if I don't need to run Jet Punch, then that's a potential like bulk up I can have, or a substitute, taunt, encore, like I was saying earlier. So yeah, or even just like putting less investment into speed and just even making it
Mm.
Yeah.
even bulkier, because
Hmm.
yeah, Araquanid is just going to be really, really useful. And yeah, so yeah, Terra Ghost for blocking Rapid Spin. Terra Steel, like I said, for blocking the Mortal Spin from the Glamora. Because I'm respecting that Pokemon. But then you also have to consider the fact it could also just go Terra Water and just completely nuke you. So it's gonna be it's just gonna be a Pokemon that's difficult to prep for, because you're gonna look at the calcs and you're gonna go, okay, this thing like one shots like everything, and the Pokemon doesn't one shot, it's gonna two shot. So every team is gonna need a dedicated Araquanid check, and I think that sort of thing is really, really useful because I just have so many water types that they can sort of answer each other's checks, and then one of like my 4 water types can just start going ham, and that's basically a hard rain team in a nutshell.
Which brings me to the thing, another point. You don't actually have any Swift Swim Pokemon.
No, you're right. I don't. Interesting. I don't have any Swift Swim Pokemon, and I was looking at them. I was like, none of them can like Terra. Like none of none of the fun ones like Basculegion.
The Beartic. The Beartic learns.
Okay. I could have got better.
Swim.
I could have got better.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I didn't want to get a Beartic.
It's a Beartic. On the other hand, it is a Beartic.
I've been sweet by Beartic before. I underestimated that stupid bear once or twice.
Yeah, I mean it's strong for sure. I just I would probably have needed it to have been a Terra Captain, and like there's nothing wrong with having made it, like if I wanted to make it Terra Captain, but at this point in the draft, like at pick number 3, I was still kind of like, okay, I kind of want to go for like Terra Flygon. It's just like I didn't really have I had already made a plan, and I just couldn't fit like any more Pokemon on whatsoever. Like every Pokemon that I had planned, and I pretty much got everything I wanted, and like everything did something. I didn't really have points to spare.
Oh, interesting. And also, I just wanted to ask you. I think we were talking about this like before the draft started. I think you were saying Terra Grass Arachnid was another idea you could do, because a Water Bubble, you won't be taking anything from fire.
Yeah. If I didn't go Terra,
and get the water.
If I didn't go Terra Steel, I probably would have gone Terra Grass, just so it has a way to actually hit water types.
Yeah.
It would have been either Terra Grass or Terra Electric. Probably Terra Grass, because there is some nice synergy there with, if rain is up, like even if I'm Terra Grass, I'm still taking what is effectively like not very effective damage from fire type moves, because of Water Bubble halving them, and then because of rain halving it again, which is very cool. And maybe if I don't fight the Glamora user, like if he's not on my schedule, then I probably will actually swap it to Terra Grass. So there you go, spoiler alert.
Yeah, because at this point in time we don't know the schedules.
Yeah, exactly.
And
we're gonna have a rivals week, and spoiler alert, I've pretty much already built my team for that because I wanted to start building.
Oh, I'm changing it. Don't worry. Depending on real talk, depending on things go, let's just say some Terra Captains will be shit. That's basically.
I can't say I blame you. Make sure you have an Araquanid check. That's my advice.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going Shaman. Shaman fucking sits on your Araquanid, unfortunately.
I didn't know what Water Bubble
does. That's fair.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Water Bubble is an OP ability. It's just on Araquanid.
It says like base 70 attack. The fire type move power by 50%, and then increases the power of water type moves by 100%. Bro.
And also, I cannot be burned.
And you can't
even Will-O-Wisp me, which is really, really funny.
Which is interesting because you do go attack based, but every Araquanid I've seen is always like Surf. I think it gets Hydro Pump.
Yeah,
probably. Would you go specially based?
I would happily go special if I'm fighting I think the main reason is Landorus Therian, right? Or also Glimmer, because you don't want to just activate Toxic Debris for no reason.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, I am more than happy to run a special Araquanid. It's just it has 20 more base stats in attack over special attack, so the physical moves will be stronger. But
Yeah, and
that doesn't mean
and
I
even
want
if
them special.
somebody brings a physical attacker against the Archonid, you get the Fortress, and bro, like
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's gonna
yeah,
be like that pair right there is like really good because like they cover each other.
yeah. Exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Look, spoiler. I'm really happy with how my team worked out. So.
Dude, yeah, I bet. And I cannot believe people let you get away with
I know.
this.
I know.
No, it could have been bad because before, when we were theory crafting, like this is way before draft. Well, I mean, maybe we were just like into the draft. I had plans on using Thunders and King Gambit
Yep, you did.
because I
And
didn't at that point I didn't have like a reliable dark type. I didn't have a reliable
Yeah.
like electric type.
Mhm.
But
yeah,
we
and
figured it out anyways.
yeah,
We figured it
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what my plans were. If you did end up going Thunderous and
out.
or King
Hmm.
Gambit, because I think at that point we did agree that like I'd have one
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you'd
yeah,
get the other.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't remember exactly
Yeah.
what my plan was. I'll be honest.
Because
Because
we are literally like so close in the draft order. We are
yeah, yeah,
literally
yeah,
like
exactly.
that's the only reason that
Yeah,
could have done
like
anything.
yeah, it was very easy for us to be like, okay, what do you want to do?
Hmm.
Because we could very reliably like not snipe each other because
Hmm.
I mean it makes sense, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we're
Yeah.
just right next to each other in the draft, so we can.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier to plan. Okay,
For
Uh,
sure.
yeah,
should I go my
Mystical.
third
yeah.
pick?
I, th-
Yes.
I think I've basically talked about it. I mean, okay, Custap berry as well. This is an
Honestly,
excellent Custap berry user.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
there you go. That's the
yeah.
last thing I wanted to say.
All right, Mystical, talk to us about your number 3 pick. Who was it?
My number three pick is actually in my first three are actually in order, so I do choose.
Yeah.
Well, not exactly in order, but I do choose my most expensive Pokemon first, which I feel like is pretty like
I
you
think
would
that's
do
pretty
that.
standard.
You
I
would
think
do
that's pretty
that.
standard.
Exactly. And I decided to go for Clefable. So he's 16 points. So a lot of my points are dedicated to, just trying to get a good core going. We
Right.
have the dragon, we have the fairy now, and maybe a good steel type could round out the team pretty nicely.
Of course.
And like, what better fairy than Clefable?
Mm.
Honestly, it's so solid in draft. I've seen I forget who has it in the Melodic Draft League, but I was watching the watch
Mhm.
alongs. Dude, that guy is a monster, and I just like
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
this Pokemon's really,
like
really good.
again, so versatile and
Unaware
it's
is really good
it's
too.
such a strong ability. It's got
Yep,
honestly all of its abilities are really solid.
they
Like Q
are.
Charm, like it's kind of maybe not Q Charm, but like Magic
Uh,
Guard and
yeah.
Unaware is the two strong abilities. Like
Yeah,
Clefable
for
also
sure.
has like 95 special attacks, so it's nothing to like.
Yeah,
If you
So
underestimate
many
it,
things you
it's
can do
strong.
with Clefable.
Calm Mind
And
learns the most
exactly.
PMs. I'm pretty sure in the game.
Wish,
yeah, yeah.
Wish it's got rocks. It's
Just
got
Cosmic
Thunder
Power,
Wave.
excellent
Sword
set
Power.
versatility. Like
Yeah.
I think Magic Guard Life Orb is a really, really fun set as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Magic Guard Life Form.
Mm-hmm.
So strong.
Because I mean, this is a Gen 1 Pokemon, right? So this also gets like
Mhm.
all the coverage in the world.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure it
Mm-hmm.
learns the most TMs out of any Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it learns the most TMs.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
got
apart from
all
like
like you
Mew, I
said,
think like yeah, literally.
yeah, and obviously like Smeargle, but like Smeargle doesn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
count, does
I
it?
mean, Smeargle can't necessarily learn TMs though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
But
I think
back to this, it's got every coverage move you would ever want. It's got
And
flamethrower.
it's
It's got
got
ice beam.
amazing like
yeah.
utility moves as
Nah.
well. Like obviously like Stealth Rock, but also just like Thunder
Mm-hmm.
Wave and like
Mhm.
screens.
Thunder Wave, Wish.
Underwave too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wish Protect as well. Also really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of expensive, but for what it does, I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
price is justified.
And like what it does is
Mhm.
like just about anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
You
you
can't
need a
sleep on
special
like
attacker.
Cosmic Power, like stored power sets as well.
Cosmic Power is
Yeah.
it might be my like every time I see that on ladder, I want to shoot my computer. Like that is not. It's like and just imagine it like where you can tailor the EVs. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun using this Pokemon.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I do have gravity, so if you want to be flying,
Ooh.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there you
use
go. I think
Tornadus.
the strongest attribute of Clefable is that she is like pure type
Mhm,
fairy,
mhm.
and that means that she's only weak to what the steel and the poison
Yeah,
types, and I
that's
Poison.
don't
it.
think I don't think like those two types, they're not really like offensive, you know.
Yeah,
So,
like
steel types are mostly like bulky Pokemon, and
mhm,
then poison types, like they can be offensive, but I don't think there's enough poison type Pokemon in a draft league in order to threat the Clefable, unless you're
Yeah,
bringing, a
yeah, for sure.
Terra Pokemon, you know.
I completely
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I'm just thinking of like poison types off the top of my head, and you've got like Iron Moth
Yeah,
and like Petulant, and then from there it like falls off to like
Mm.
Gengar. There's like there's
exactly.
and there's like there's Glimora as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
But
even if you see a
there's not many.
Gengar,
There's not
like you can
many.
just invest in HP and then
Mhm.
in special defense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Like you can go, you can easily just go unaware to ignore nasty plots, and you can go like
Mhm.
Kebia berry, I think it is, the poison resist
Yep.
berry, and then Gengar is
Yep.
so
Yep.
like frail that you
Hmm.
can just then revenge kill it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
Clefable, if we want to talk about set versatility, with you have Glowking, Kyurem, and Clefable, those three Pokemon can do
Yeah.
just about anything.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be a nightmare
Yep.
to prep for. I think
Yep.
so far that is the biggest strength of your team.
Mhm.
Yeah, for
And which
sure.
is what I was kind of going for, right? If you haven't noticed already, Curum Clefable, they can run a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like some weeks more than others, it's gonna be obvious. Okay, yeah, you're running specs like Blizzard could be so free
Yeah,
to
yeah, for
teams
sure. Like for
sometimes.
example,
Yeah.
But like for the
you're
most,
probably gonna have Specs Freeze Dry with your Kyurem. I'm just saying.
I
Yeah.
actually had a different mind for you because we are
Oh, okay,
rivals. I had a different set in mind.
okay,
It's
okay,
gonna be
okay.
pretty interesting to see how you deal with
Yeah.
it.
All right.
I I only see four Pokemon that can threaten the Clefable. One being the Iron Moth,
Mhm.
the
Iron Moth for sure.
Glimora. Yep, the Glimora, the
Mhm.
Revabroom, and
Reveroom's a good one.
then
Reveroom
Rev
is a
like
good
is a
one.
full counter. Sorry, it's just a full counter. I don't know.
the Sneasler, obviously.
Hey,
Sneasler,
hey,
yeah. But I do resist its
Against
CC.
Reveroom,
I
don't be
do resist
sleeping on
its
the
CC.
Power Herb Dig.
Why would it dig against the Clefable?
No. Clefable is running Power Herb Dig.
Oh, Clefable's running the power.
Hmm. I guess you're right, because you ignored
Yeah,
the
exactly. With
boosting.
Unaware, you
So
can just make sure
yeah,
you
yeah.
like you live. Just hope they don't have Gunk Shot because that probably Okos anyway. But they wouldn't
Hmm.
run Gunk Shot. They'd run Poison Jab or Iron Head because they're scared of missing Gunk
Mhm.
Shot, and then you catch
Mhm.
them off guard.
Exactly.
Ooh,
I'm not even sure it learns Poison Jab, but definitely Iron Head. Iron Head
it
can
definitely has
definitely
Iron
go.
Head.
Yeah, it does get Iron Head, and then let's see what it gets for a poison attack. Yeah, it does get Poison Jab.
What is he jabbing with, bro?
I don't know.
Like,
The
what?
That
Look at
is
him,
so
bro.
funny.
the
What is he
wheels. It's jabbing
jabbing?
you with the wheels.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
he's got like negative to reach. You can point it out.
Mhm.
Anyway,
All right. You want to talk to us about your pick number 4?
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, I will bring us back to. Okay. At this point, everybody has their like, everybody's going for their fairies and grounds, most in particular. Fairy grounds, waters. This is about the time where they're getting chosen, right?
Yeah.
Round three
Exactly.
onwards, and I just do decide to go for two of those. Actually, I decided to get Swampert. So Swampert originally wasn't the ground type or water type for that matter that I wanted, but I feel
Hmm.
like it was this was like a pick that I was sort of dancing around. Like, okay, I could go because at this point Terra Vaporeon was still alive,
Yeah.
but it's like a Vaporeon. Do I really want to spend my money, spend my Terra points on that? Because in this league, we only have 20 Terra points, and the
Yes.
good ones are all like 11, 12, 12 being the max, and obviously that means you can't get two good Terra captains. So I was like, okay, if I get Vaporeon here, I'm gonna get an extremely mid, like, no, not mid. It is mid. Like, by definition, it's gonna be like a middle of the tier Terra
Yeah.
captain
Yeah.
for my neck, like as a good secondary, sure. But I didn't want to lock myself into that early, so I do decide to go for Swampert as my next pick, just because. Okay, at this point, it's solid, right? I was looking at it as like, I'm not exactly weak to grass, which is pretty its only
Hmm.
weakness.
Yeah.
Like grass, I have Glow King, and I have a bunch of other picks after this that
Yeah.
all will eat
Exactly.
grass moves.
And it pairs good with Clefable because it
Exactly.
resists
It resists the poison, and it
yeah,
resists
the
the
Yeah.
poison and the
steel.
steel too.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's two birds with one stone, and that is. I was looking at the type charts as well. I was like, I could use a Swampert. You know, it might not be.
Yeah, exactly. You could
I could
definitely
definitely.
use a Swampert.
Exactly, and I didn't want to split more points into another ground type because, like I said, my pick is really, our picks are really like bad. Like you never
Yeah.
want to be in the middle of this year
Yeah.
when everybody's drafting waters, when everybody's drafting ground types, and I'm pretty sure at this point ground types are going off the shelf. Like they're flying out at this point, and
Yeah.
it's like okay, kill two birds with one stone. Gonna get at least a very solid helps Fable. Helps like Glow King as well.
Yeah, and like
It's got flip turn.
it's quad weak to grass, but like you have Glow King and you have Cure 'em, so it's not really a big issue.
Exactly.
I think there's a lot of synergy with Swampert and the rest of your team.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this pick for your fourth pick.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
it means
100
Clefable isn't locked into running like Stealth Rock every week, which
Exactly.
is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, I will say that since Mousehold is the only removal, like if you do the tidy up, you're also removing your own stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, that is.
it is kind of sad, but like again, I don't have to bring Mousehold every week, but
Yeah, you don't have to bring.
that conversation comes to like tight matchups, like my matchups against like
for sure.
against I'll say it, against Mario Fan, he literally has 0 hazards aside from one Pokemon, and I have no hazards. That guy's gone. Like,
Well,
sorry,
I
will be saying
I've
he
Sticky
has
Web.
Fortress as his like.
I have Sticky
Yeah,
Web.
exactly.
I also have
Like-
Rocks. Fortress
Yes,
actually
Fortress.
does get like every like hazard basically, apart from Sticky Web.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does he get
Yeah.
T-spikes?
Yeah,
I didn't know he got T-spikes. I knew he got like spikes and.
it
Oh, my
actually
God,
gets
these-
like everything that isn't like Sticky Web, and I have
Hmm.
Arachnid.
I see.
Yeah, like I said,
But I mean, like it's a very solid.
everything on my
fourth
team
pick.
has a role. Fortress is here for hazards and spin.
While we're talking about that, you can go into your pick while we're on your team, Mario Fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So
What
Yeah.
you got, bro?
my fourth pick. At this point, I'm like, oh, I'm quite weak to electric, aren't I?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, let's get another rain abuser. So I got Archaladon. I got the bridge. And
But
this
we were
is-
all screaming at this guy to pick Archaladon because he was debating whether to get Archaladon or King Gambit. And it's like, dude, somebody is going to pick it because it doesn't need rain to be good.
Yeah, and
And
then I listened to you all, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm glad I listened to you. But yeah, I mean, obviously the number one thing this thing wants to do on my team is click Electro-Shot in rain, right? That's the main thing. But this does also give me a Stealth Rocker, like it doesn't have to go like Assault Vest every week, although I will probably default to an Assault Vest like stamina set, with just like Electro-Shot, like Draco, like Flash Cannon maybe, and then like the Body Press, like something like that is probably going to be like the set I default to. But I can also go for like a 9 defense Body Press set with leftovers and stamina. Like Electro Shot is always going to make me more like strong on the special side, so I don't necessarily need a ton of special attack investment because it is so easy for me to click the Electro Shot. Obviously, it's going to struggle a little bit with like manual weather setup. So, for example, your Slowking can click Chilly Reception. That's going to be kind of annoying. For my Chaladon especially. Also, I can run Power Herb with Electro Shot and Meteor Beam.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that sounds like thumbnail
Your options are limitless.
But
And
it does also
the
get
abilities
both
are
screens. Yeah, for sure. Both like all its abilities. Okay, apart from Stalwart, which is a great doubles ability, but in singles, Stalwart is not going to do anything. But Stamina and Sturdy are two amazing abilities. Like probably going to want to run Stamina most of the time, but Sturdy on a team as hyper offensive as mine is going to be really really useful. This it just gets really really good moves like dual screens as well. Like this thing, like when you look at this Pokemon, it's a bridge. It does not look fast. Why has this thing got base 85 speed?
Exactly, man.
That's my question. But I mean, look,
And I also
Fine
want to
for
bring
me.
it back
Fine
to
for
your
me.
sturdy idea. It does get rocks, and against
exactly.
like a team like mine, where I kind of have to have Messel to get rid of everything.
Yep.
And it gets sturdy with it has a pretty good matchup into Messel. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I can easily run like a sturdy Custap Berry set.
Exactly.
Or even just like stamina. And if you click population bomb even once, I'm gonna stamina boost.
Well,
And I'm
yeah,
gonna have
obviously.
Rocky Helmet, and your mouse hold
Honestly,
is
I
dead.
drafted Mousehold with the intent of not clicking population bomb once. I hope you know that. It is running Super Fang every single damn week, okay?
You know what? Fair. You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss Super Fang against my Archaludon though. So
Alright.
good luck with that.
I'm going to the restroom, guys. I'll be back.
Okie dokie.
We'll pause it here then, or something. We'll pause it here. Because it is
but
just
yeah, I mean,
if you had anything else to say about...
Archaludon. Hey, it gets.
I mean,
it gets,
like, Archaludon
it gets
is so strong.
like it has a base 105 attack stat and it has Sword Stance. So
It does have SD, and I'm pretty sure it was Pokemon who got reverse swept by this thing in the... I think it was maybe last season, if you remember that.
Video, that video was pretty crazy. I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly who it was.
I don't remember who has it. But...
I'd know it if I saw it. Like I can think of his voice. I can think of like the videos. I just can't remember the name.
Who had Archaludon? Was it? What? That was the UPL? What was his last season?
Yeah, it was the season before the BBL, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
Exactly
it's the
which
season
one that
before
was.
he's doing right now, because he had his Gliscor, he had his Iron
Yeah.
Crown. I do remember that. What was it?
Hold on, we can find out. Okay, wait, YouTube. Let's poke him. Here, visit channel. Videos. Come on. When was it? So into the generation.
It
3
was
definitely
his.
got that
It
one.
was a PPL. It was PPL, and it was. Who had it? It was. It was Necrostiva. Yeah, this guy. This guy. Oh hell yeah, hell.
Yes.
Oh, this guy's team. Yeah, oh, I remember this.
Yeah, that.
Man, I really
that
wanted
was
Prima as
awesome.
well, man. Prima is such a strong this in the draft. I've never really used it. It's actually a Terra Captain in another draft I was looking at. And I was like,
That's
that
crazy.
seems so fucking cool to use.
Prima Arena's awesome.
But yeah, no, this team, it is kind of a shame he didn't really do that well in the actual season, but his team is very strong.
Yeah,
Anyways.
but like he beat Pokemon.
Just sort of aside, but like that just shows you Archaludon doesn't need to be on rain to be good.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to be on rain to be good, man.
And you can't sleep on the focus energy.
Mm-hmm.
Scope
well, maybe not
lens,
that.
Draco Meteor set.
Maybe not that.
Ooh. Guaranteed crits on Draco sounds nice though.
Yeah, you can't just completely spam it. You get oh, I guess you can't go Metro. But yeah.
Yeah, this is I'm very much looking forward to using the Archaludon. It's gonna be really fun.
What Pokemon did Lucario man draft next? I'm looking at his team is probably the Landorus, right?
Probably.
That's his story. It could be Iron Moth, but I don't think Landorus. Maybe Landorus did stay for that long.
Is it Lando T or Lando I? I don't remind me.
It's Lando T. It is Lando T.
T.
It is Lando T.
I think that would make sense. I mean, this is what his round 5 pick. So yeah, Lando T staying until round 5 is.
Is this his round 5 or round 4? I think it's round 4. No, it's his round 4.
Oh yeah. This is his round 4. Okay, that's
yeah.
that's
Then because it would make sense for him to draft Moth after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, what pick?
Yeah, I'm so hyped for.
Was he?
I'm very hyped for Rivals. Like, I don't actually know. I meant to ask them that actually.
I was always meant to ask him. That's really funny. What pick was he?
He is. Okay, well, it doesn't say in the actual. That's cool. He was. Where the fuck is it?
Because the announcement with the draft order was in the draft channel, and I think they've like hidden that from people.
Yeah, they like removed it for some reason. I was looking at that as well.
Because yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna look at to remind myself what my order was.
Mm-hmm.
But
All right, guys, I'm back.
hello again.
Welcome back. Wait, what pick were you by the way?
My pick. This is in order. The next pick that I got was actually the Landorus.
Okay, yeah, that's what we thought. Thought. Yeah, that made sense. That makes sense with this.
Yeah, and I basically went for the Landorus because at this point, with the Corviknight, the Keldeo, and the Raging Bolt, I have two Pokemon weak to the electric,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
and
think
so
this
the
makes sense.
yep, and the Landorus, gives me that immunity, and
Yep.
then I don't depend on Corviknight to cover the ground weakness of the Raging Bolt. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so the Landorus provides me with the immunity to ground. I can do the intimidate. I can U-turn. I can stealth rock. I can brick break. I think he was a very smart choice on my part. And let me see.
Oh, that's actually funny. We went 1, 2, 3. So it's actually Lucario man drafted before me. That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That is right. Yeah. Sorry. You can go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
we were
don't
just trying to
worry.
get
And
the
then
the draft order.
let's see. And then at this point, so with the Landorus, I have at least on the type charts,
Mm-hmm.
I am on the red with the ice types and the fairy types. And then that leads me to my next pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you know what? I was gonna say no. So for my next pick, the pick number 5, I went
Hmm.
for my first Terra Captain, and
Oh.
yep,
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I did the Item Leaves.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah, true, true, true. Okay. I,
Yep.
because when I was looking at this, obviously, I don't remember the actual draft order. I thought
Mhm.
you picked Iron Moth next. That would make sense looking at the team, but Iron Leaves also makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, I pick Item Leaves, because I have never used them before,
Hmm.
and I really needed a physical attacker, so
Yeah,
Yeah, I
this.
yeah.
completely agree.
Yeah, so this guy can do the booster energy, he to increase the speed, he can sword stance,
Yeah.
and then yeah, for the turret typings, I decided to go for let me see, the grass, for a stronger leaf
Just
blade,
spamming. Yeah,
Yeah, makes
makes sense.
a
sense.
psychic.
Yep, same sort of thing, I'd assume.
And then for the for fighting, just in case I want to increase the damage of the close combat. Mm, and yeah, I mean, the last two picks for me were like pretty standard. Nothing too significant. Although at this point in time with the item leaves,
Mm-hmm.
I was really concerned because I had nothing for to cover for fairies and nothing to cover for
Yeah,
ice
yeah, that
types,
is pretty true on this. But
Yeah,
except for the Corviknight. But
except for the
then
Corviknight.
your next pick makes sense. But I like Iron Leaves. I've never seen it not being used on like terrain. So always paired next to Pink Urchin with maybe a Terra Electric for that because it does
yeah.
get Wild Charge for some reason. I mean, it does help you maybe against flying types, but that's about it. But
Yeah, true.
I like your Terra Captain types just because
Mhm.
it's a very spammable Pokemon. It's got
It
Yeah.
is.
great speed as well. Iron Leaves.
Yeah, 104.
104 is nothing to be like. You are slower than 108s, and like
Yeah.
obviously anything like that, which is like kind of the
Yeah,
tier
yeah.
you want to
But
be. But like,
boost energy speed will help with that for sure.
it's a very strong Terra Captain, and I think if you're
Yeah.
going to bring it, it's always Terra because
Exactly, for
U-turn
sure.
is so like U-turn is so strong. And I mean, if it's in draft, you're probably gonna bring U-turn, but it's honestly, I like this guy as a Terra Captain. I like that if you don't bring it as a Terra
Mhm.
Captain, what are you really doing? You're just quad weak to you're just quad weak to bugs for
Exactly.
nothing, right? It's
Exactly.
got Mega Horn. It's got close combat. It's got
Yeah.
Side Blade. Side Blade's a really cool move.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
Cyblade.
SD obviously. Trailblaze could be pretty cool. You get stab on it
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
before you
I mean,
Terra, and
your
obviously like
team right now is pretty bulky, so you could easily run like screens, like weakness policy, iron leaves, with
mhm.
like agility. I
Yeah.
think something like that could be pretty fun.
It has
Mm-hmm.
good agility. You can run like a more bulkier set with that case then,
Yeah, for sure.
and then yeah, I mean
Yeah.
like its defenses aren't like 108 def, 90 HP. It's also very solid as maybe like AV guy. Base
Yeah,
up
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
version,
yeah.
which
This thing's
also
gonna
has a very
take
solid.
it for days.
Mm-hmm. 130.
Mhm.
Obviously, the 130 attack is so strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's a
Yeah.
great pick. I think it makes a lot of sense for. I think it makes a lot
Hmm.
of sense for
Yeah.
what you
I also
had.
I
Like,
also think it makes a lot of sense. But you are pretty weak to ice right now.
Yeah, yeah. I am. But let's just keep on going, shall we? Mario, talk to us
yeah.
about your next pick.
Okay, my next pick. Okay, I'm gonna have the least to say about this one because, shocker,
Hmm.
rain tree, rain team drafts rain setter. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna run damp rock on this Pokemon, basically every single week. Spoiler alert, because my team needs rain up. And then probably more often than not, I'm gonna have hurricane. I'm gonna have U-turn. I'm gonna have roost. And
Hmm.
whatever move I need last, maybe I want surf one week, maybe I want like knockoff,
Yeah.
maybe I want tailwind,
Mhm.
like doesn't really
On
matter.
Pelter?
Yeah, yeah, on the
Yeah,
Pelipper.
let's get tail and U-turn. I can see it.
Yeah. I
Oh,
definitely.
Pelter does learn the knockoff. That is insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like good,
Little
great
bird.
utility. I was never going to be picking Politoed over Pelipper, and basically the
Yeah, of
number one
course
reason for
not.
that is okay. Firstly, the flying stab is really good synergy with my like Araquanid and my Palafin, just being able to hit like grass types. But also
Hmm.
U-turn is basically the number one reason outside of the flank type because pivoting moves are amazing, especially on a team as hyper offensive as this one. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Pelipper. Drizzle will set up rain. Downproc will extend it for 3 turns, so I have 8 turns of rain. 7 turns if I click U-turn, and I will just be clicking buttons. That's the plan. That's
I
what
must
Pelipper's here
say
for.
though, I could see a world where you don't bring your rain mode. Like I'm just looking at it. You
Yeah,
run
yeah, yeah.
Pelt and you run
I
Thorn,
like.
you run Arch still, maybe Thund, Gudra,
Yeah, like
and maybe
Yeah.
something else.
with
Like
the way
it's
I've
definitely
drafted, I
solid.
don't need rain. Like obviously
Exactly.
every
Yeah.
Pokemon will benefit, but
Hmm.
they also don't need it,
Yeah.
Hmm.
which is
Tornadus is fast enough to set up the rain by itself.
yeah, exactly.
If you
Like
ever need it,
the
so.
fact I have like so many Pokemon that benefit from rain, like basically like not all of them, but most of them also learn rain dance. Like
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
I, for example, Pelipper, like okay, well I don't really think I can bring Pelipper here. Like for example, into any Pokemon that has freeze dry,
Hmm.
Yeah,
or
dude.
or that person with the mono electric team.
Bro, I just realized that Gudra learns. Well, doesn't. No. Gudra has the Zap Zip. No, not Zap Zipper. How do you pronounce that? Sap Zipper?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sapsipper.
September.
Yeah, it does have Sapsipper.
So immunity to grass, bro, that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So strong for a rain team,
Very,
yeah.
very useful for my rain team. Although that is not the number one reason I drafted Gudra, but I will get to that when I actually talk about
All right. Yeah,
it.
fair enough.
But that is
All
a
right.
nice like secondary mode, I will say.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mystical.
All right.
What
So
did
my
you pick
fifth
next?
pick is a steel type. So at
Hooray.
this, like I said, Corpse is already gone. Arch is already
Mm-hmm.
gone. A
There's
lot
a
of the
lot of
good
steel
guys are
types that
already
are
going.
gone. Yeah, Treads is definitely gone. I'm pretty sure Excadrill's
So
also gone.
actually, to begin with, I decided I actually wanted to draft Terra Registeel. That was going to be my
Mm-hmm.
original. It's actually only 10 points. So if I wanted to pair with another 10-point Terra,
Yeah, there's a lot of good
it's kind of
like 10
solid,
point ones as well.
Like, but if you're looking at my dock right now, obviously I don't have Terra guy at the
Indeed.
moment, Terra Registeel. So something must have happened. Another player in the draft wanted it pretty badly, and he also happened to get another Pokemon that I thought would work out. Because if you look at my team, I don't actually have a real ground answer at the moment, and
Fair, fair.
like Glowking would prefer like maybe a flying type to come and support, which is why I had my eyes on Corviknight, but like I got Sniper on too, because it also has pivot and it's very
Yeah.
nice. In any case, I think the pick I do end up trading it for Orthworm that can Terra into a I forgot what my Terra types are. It's fighting, poison, and fire. So it's all Pokemon that would it's all types that would benefit from it would benefit from Earth Eater.
Yeah.
And
Mine is
fire is just
fighting,
like
which obviously stab body press is just
fire is
very,
just
very
kind of
strong.
whatever, like it's just kind of a secondary. Like if I need it, I don't have a real fire type that can like do damage. Fire,
Yeah, fair,
it
fair.
learns Terror Blast. Fire could be a strong
Yeah, exactly.
secondary.
Into like Scissor
But
would be really
Poison
nice.
and Fighting are probably the main ones I'm gonna go for. Poison on a Steel type, it fixes a lot of my
Yeah,
weaknesses. In
like
fact,
Psychic
I'm
is
only
your
actually
only
weak
weakness,
to.
and there's
I
not a
was about to
lot of
say,
amazing Psychic types.
and like
And you
honestly,
have one of
Psychic
them.
as a type is so incredibly mid. It's so incredibly mid
Yeah, exactly.
as in just a type in
Yeah.
general. Like you definitely want a Psychic type on every draft, but it's always gonna be kind of like lower midish tiered. In any case, Earthworm, the fighting speaks for itself, right? It's got Iron Defense, it's got Coil, it's gonna run
Yep.
Body Press. I mean, it's got 145 defense. You might as well use it. It's just, I mean, it's also got a ground immunity, which I actually quite like.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that I've drafted the rest of my team, maybe I would have wanted the Registeel back, but I mean, I think it's still pretty solid for what I picked it for. It's got that ground immunity. I'm not really like, is it Psychics fightings before I Terra? I have Glow King and I have Clefable already.
Yeah, for sure.
Fire types, I have Swampert and sort of Cura maybe.
Hmm.
Like fire type is another one of the things you want a fire type. If sometimes fire types are cool, they're all kind of bad.
Yeah.
Except for like Ogrepawn, like Hearthflame
Ogrepawn
is the only
Hearthflame's
one I can
good.
think of.
My favorite
Hey,
fire
again,
type to
Iron
draft
One.
is definitely Volcarona.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are not recording like my screen, right?
No?
You guys cannot
Oh.
see me.
No, I'm
No,
recording
no,
my
I'm not
browser.
recording. I'm not recording.
I'm
my-
asking because like I'm actually like cleaning my ears right now,
Oh,
and
yeah, all
I
good.
was like, no, that would have been really embarrassing.
No, I'm not recording my Discord. It's just
All right.
Yeah, don't
Anyways,
worry.
going back to Pokemon.
all good. Yeah, like I said, Earthworm is just a pretty solid. I have this Pokemon in the MDL. It is very solid.
Yeah, for sure.
And another draft blade is very solid if it hits all its moves, of course, and with body press. Hey, I'm just. One of the other things about this draft is that I wanted to not use Pokemon I've used before in a lot of this, just because like I've never used like the first 5.
Yeah.
I guess with the Orthworm I have used Orthworm before, but like the first 4 and the rest of my draft I've never used in a draft before. So I'm really excited to.
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
I'm just really excited.
Fair enough. I actually admire that a lot. Because a lot of people they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna draft the Pokemon that I think are
Exactly,
good," you
right?
know, and
Like,
I just want to
yeah,
win, you know.
that's like
And I
that's
can
like cool
respect
and
wanting
all,
to
but,
win,
like,
but let's also have some fun. And I think for the views, in terms of like YouTube and stuff,
Mhm.
the viewers want to
Yeah, very
see
true.
like different Pokemon.
exactly right. And if
Yeah.
you rock up imagine you're in 3 draft leagues and you have the same damn team. Like, how boring would
Yeah.
that be?
Exactly.
Exactly,
Exactly.
a lot. Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Am I next?
Yeah, go for it. Liz, what did you
Okay.
draft picks? I'd like your 6 pick, actually.
Yeah. So obviously at this point, with the last Pokemon being Idle Leaves, like you mentioned, I have weaknesses to. I'm on the red on Fairy and Ice.
Mhm.
So to kind of like help me with that, I decided to go with the Klefki. He's 11 points, and pretty amazing Pokemon. Amazing typing. The Steel and Fairy are very useful. And then let's not forget that he does learn the Prankster. So
Yep.
I'm gonna be able, and this completes my core of Fairy and Steel and Dragon.
Mhm.
And so the Klefki, he can go for the dual screens. He can set up spikes. He can also do the Thunder Wave. There are quite a few things that the Klefki can help me with, and I also picked it because, like I mentioned, it provides coverage for the Ice and the Fairy.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think
Honestly,
I think
if
it's just a very, very good
your
pick.
team is very solid, I would not want to fight. If we are matched up, like, then that's whatever. But
Yeah, it is what it is.
I probably wouldn't want to choose to fight because your team is so solid. Landorus, Iron Moth, Corviknight, and with Raging Bolt, that's just like that whatever card. It's a very strong draft. I'm just gonna say it's a very strong draft. It's got a lot of potential to just honestly, if you just bring your first 6 every week, I can
Yeah,
see it
fair.
just working. I could genuinely just see it working, just because it's so strong. Like everything covers everything. The weaknesses covered that Iron Leaves brought with it, like an extra ice, an extra fairy.
Yeah.
Iron Moth deals with both of those. You can't really U-turn on Corviknight or Landorus either. It's very strong. It's a very strong draft.
Yep. So at this point, with my first 6, I was actually very very happy.
Honestly, it's very nice, very nice, very nice.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just a very, very solid, very balanced like core of 6.
Exactly. All right. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, go for it, Mario Finn.
All right. So, my 6th pick. So right now I'm still pretty weak to electric, right? So I'm like, okay, let's get them like an electric immune, but I don't really want a ground type, right? Because I have like hard rain. So this is why we were talking earlier about Thunderous Therian with the Volt Absorb. Is very, very useful for my team. I also get 100% accurate Thunders and Rain. So another Pokemon that does benefit from the Rain. This Pokemon is also extremely strong with base 145 special attack. Also pretty good speed in the base 101. But again, any Pokemon from like 75 to like 110, I'd say. Or maybe like 105. I think like 75 to 110. Like any Pokemon in that like speed tier range, I think really, really benefits from Sticky Web. So this is one of those basically. It's just a very, very strong Pokemon that like with webs up, I can just click like choice specs like Thunders. And
I love this Pokemon with webs as well. It's so strong.
Yeah, I completely. It's just.
It's just so much coverage,
good.
man.
And it gets all the coverage, exactly.
You're gonna get far on this league, bro, with this team. Like, I don't want to play you now. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, you just have like really good coverage, and you would say, "Oh, well, the Fortress is weak to fire ×4." Yeah, but he's gonna have the rain.
Yeah, exactly. Rain
and
up.
then he's gonna have the Araquanid. He's gonna have quite a few things out there to like cover for the Fortress.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with the weakness to fire ×4, with the rain, shit, like that's nothing.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like my probably my biggest weakness to any like single like one Pokemon, probably Ogerpon Wellspring, if we want to be honest here. But I have like Taunt for the Hurricanes. This Pokemon, Thunderous Therian, gets like Sludge Wave and Sludge Bomb, which will hit pretty hard. Like King Gambit as well. Spoiler alert, that's my next pick. But King Gambit is also going to be like pretty nice on taking on the Ogerpon, just because King Gambit is so like physically bulky. And then the Fortress as well is just going to not take a whole lot of damage just because of how tanky Fortress is naturally. I think there's a lot of synergy. I mean, some of my top picks, like I at the moment, I'm kind of struggling against like bulky waters, especially. So just having something that can like nuke them is really, really good. Because most bulky waters are going to be like, like you look at my team and people are going to go, okay, let's make this Pokemon max defense and max HP, right? And then this Pokemon is going to be able to take advantage of that because they're not going to be trained to be like specially defensive, but more importantly, they're not going to be trained to be like particularly fast. So I'm just going to be able to go modest and just click buttons. And that's basically why I got Thunderous Therian. It's a very, very important niche for what my team needed, being electric immune and also being able to hit water types.
Yep, and 145 base special attack. Yeah, that is really, really. And then you're gonna be hitting that Thunder every freaking time.
Yep.
With the rain.
And even if rain isn't up, then I'm just gonna get luckier.
Exactly,
also, Thunder in rain. Can't forget this move has a 30% chance to paralyze. So I'm sure there's going to be at least 1 week where I hit the Thunder, I get the paralysis, and they get fully paralyzed, and they are not happy about it. And you know what? I would also be not very happy about it. I personally, if that was me, I would tilt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But this Pokemon does also get Nasty Plot. If it wasn't already strong enough, it does also get Nasty Plot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just I'm looking forward to using this.
I love this Pokemon under webs because it's got it's like 331 max speed. It's weird that it's faster than the 100s, but
Yeah.
it's outside of that, it's actually kind of slow. Like I think this is sort of the same thing as Palafin. Like it's
Yeah,
speed time
exactly.
to 100.
It's like
But with webs,
it's
I love
decently
this
fast,
Pokemon
but
on
yeah.
webs. I love this Pokemon webs because it's so strong. It's got nasty
Yeah,
bodily extent, and
exactly.
it can run so many it can run so many coverage moves. Sorry, like Focus Blast, like
Yeah, for
Sludge Wave.
sure.
It gets Grass Knot. Like it's such.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this Pokemon. I love this Pokemon,
Like
man.
grass knot for like your Swampert, for example. I'm probably gonna feel
Exactly.
pretty forced to run the grass knot on this Pokemon.
Like, I wish this Pokemon had a real flying type move, or
Yeah,
any flying type
yeah,
move in general.
yeah. Definitely the
Like that
the
is
biggest
just
weakness
the
is that
biggest.
this thing's
Yeah.
strongest flying move is like acrobatics. And
Yeah,
this Pokemon is not a
yeah,
physical
yeah.
attacker.
Even like hidden power flying, if we still had hidden powers in this
Literally, if
game.
this Pokemon still had like
It's
access to hidden power flying, I would probably run that at like a decent amount of the
it's
time
so
as
nice,
well.
man.
just to have it. But yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily get this as like a flying type offensively. Like
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah,
having
right,
another
right.
Pokemon that's like ground immune is nice, but that's not
Yeah.
the main reason it's here.
Yeah,
But
dude,
yeah.
you were like under the radar, because like there's no way. I was like, how did the entire roster let him draft like this? Like nobody just paid attention to, what
I
you were
know.
trying to
Oh my god, I
build.
know. I quite literally got like every single pick that I actually wanted.
What would you do if I got Thundurus instead? Because, like I
Well,
said, I was looking at it.
yeah, like I made a plan around you getting the Thundurus. I just don't remember what it
Mhm.
was. I mean,
Oh.
I'll open Draft Zone to see if like it's still here.
Yeah.
But I think I
I mean,
deleted it.
I use
I mean,
this
you
guy on the
you
web.
could have gotten Kilo White Troll.
Yeah. I definitely could have. To be
yeah.
fair, I definitely could have.
Yeah, I might have been Kilowattrel then.
Uh,
All right, should I move on to my sixth pick then?
Do it.
yeah, go for it.
Right. So my sixth pick is a Pokemon that I knew I wanted to use, even before when I saw it, because for some reason, right, a lot of the leagues don't allow a Terra Shaman. I don't know why. Like it's base form Shaman, so it's got 100 form. It's got 100 across the board.
Yeah.
It's not particularly strong, but it's not like. But with its moves, it's also not weak either. And
Yeah.
especially combined with the Terra type of grass, that just helps what it does just do even better. Like Seed Flare, I'm going to be spamming. If like into certain
Absolutely.
matchups, just going to be spamming it. I don't care if you resist it because you're getting a -2 in special defense, and I'm going to kill you next turn with like some other
Yep,
move.
very true. I will say,
my
be
other
careful
Terra
of Covert
yeah.
Cloak. People
I mean,
will feel forced to
if
run
you're running
Covert
Covert
Cloak.
Cloak just for missing the -2, it's still 120 base power. Terra
It is
Grass
very, very
sometimes,
strong
like-
still.
Exactly. And base 100 across the
Spoiler
board.
alert,
it is-
Sap Sipper Gudra into you might be a Brin.
It's called I'm bringing
any
both my favorite types.
user, really.
No, but in all seriousness, like I think it's very strong. Like it could also be very defensive as well. I had some
Yeah.
troubles thinking about the Terra types I actually wanted on this Pokemon, but I thought that Terra Ground is kind of nice. Just like it boosts my Earth power a little bit more. It hits some stuff. I don't actually have that much great. I don't think I actually have good ground like offensively as well. Like I'm not using ground as a defensive typing, that's for sure. I'll put it
Yeah,
that way.
it's so you can hit fires
Mhm.
and steals, which I think that
And
makes
like
a lot of
fires,
sense.
like I'm gonna get the better type matchup on that.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
originally Terra Water over this, but honestly, I wasn't really. If this guy had free Terra, that would have been the best case scenario because
Yeah,
it wants
for
to run
sure.
a lot of Terras.
Yeah, I mean,
My next Terra Captain's Terra type is Fairy. Fairy is kind of no duh. It's such a solid typing. It's such a good defensive typing.
yeah,
as well.
it's such a
Mhm.
like no drawbacks type, and like
And like
because this
with the
Pokemon has
Pokemon I
natural
have-
cure as well, like you can't even like toxic this Pokemon down.
exactly, you're not toxing it. You're not thunder waving it.
Exactly.
I mean, you can, but I'm switching out. It's gonna be just annoying. It's
Yeah.
got Leech Seed.
Yeah, like immediately, the set I think of is like a very, very annoying
Leech
like
Seed, right?
leftovers
Exactly.
Leech Seed Protect Substitute Seed Flare set.
Oh yeah.
It also
Leech.
has okay on
'Cause I'm a-
Smogon.
'cause I'm a
It says
bad
it can
person.
take advantage of Sword Stance. When
Yeah,
when am I
yeah,
ever
it-
using Sword Stance? I'm
I
gonna be honest.
mean,
It's best. I mean, I guess it's best physical.
what physical moves does it get?
So it's not
Petal
terrible.
Blizzard gets
It's
Facade.
Terrablaze.
Play Rough is actually good coverage. So actually, you can go.
Play
You,
rough
you
is
can go.
good.
You can go Terra Fairy for the defensive like help, and then click Play Rough. You actually could get Send Headbutt as well, or
Yeah.
you could go like Loaded Dice Bullet Seed. Ooh.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Actually,
Maybe I'll have to bring that. Maybe I'll have to
Swords
bring
Dance,
all.
Trailblaze, like Petal Blizzard, like Play Rough. Like that sounds like a
Play
real
rough. It's
set.
just not solid. It's not bad, but like it's a base 100s across the board. It's not gonna be doing that much. In all honesty, it's not gonna be doing that much. I wanted to use this guy.
Yeah, I mean,
It's mostly for
yeah,
just
that's fair.
spamming like stuff, and it's also
Right.
it's surprisingly bulky because grass doesn't have that many weaknesses that my team
Exactly.
doesn't already like deal with pretty nicely. The only one is flying,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
kind of
I think
scary,
that's
but
fair.
maybe I should have gone a Terra Electric something. And in any case, it's a pretty cool Pokemon. I'm excited to use this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to use it.
Yeah,
Actually.
I think this is going to be like
Yeah.
between this and Orthworm. I think
Mhm.
the combination of those two Terra Captains is going to be pretty annoying for people to deal with.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Of course. Of course.
And like I said, this is actually the Pokemon I was saying. If it doesn't work out, we'll be able to change
Yeah,
something.
I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential here for sure though.
I have
For
a lot
sure.
of other potential Terra Captains that can fill the space pretty nicely. So I will get to that when it comes to it.
Yeah,
Alright, man.
for sure.
Take us into your 7th pick, man. I'm pretty curious as to see who you drafted after this, guys.
So let me see. After the Klefki, I'm still on the red on
Mm.
both. On actually on only the ice type, I'm on the red. So because I have ×4 weakness with the Landorus, my
Mhm.
Terra Captain is also weak to the ice, and then obviously the Raging Bolt. I'm also on the red on fire, so I thought that a fire type Pokemon was gonna be
Yeah.
really useful. And I was like, damn, so I need a fire type Pokemon, but I also need a Pokemon that has a base speed of 110 or more.
Mhm.
And so for my 7th pick, I used the Iron Moth.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Um Yeah. So now I'm like even on everything. I'm only red on the ghost types, but Iron Moth, like super offensive. He's got the 140 special attack and then 110 on the speed, so he can be a really powerful Pokemon because he can also use the
Mhm.
substitute, in case I can
Yep,
predict a
definitely.
switch on my opponent's board, and he has some really interesting moves that
Mhm.
he can use. So obviously, the Fury Dance is gonna be right there, the Sludge Wave. I can use the Dazzling Gleam. I can use Energy Ball, which means I can
This guy gets
also
so crazy, by the way.
yeah, exactly. So pretty straightforward. That's all I'm gonna say for the Iron Moth.
Booster
That's
energy
why.
is such a
Yeah,
strong item
boost
into
energy is
this.
just really good, and like boosting this thing's
Mhm.
speed even further is just so valuable. Like, but you can also go like heavy duty boost. Does this get a pivoting move? Does it get U-turn? It does get U-turn. So you can
It
you
does.
can also do like heavy duty boots U-turn set because you like I think like basically every single Pokemon on the team has like a pivoting move.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't need to say much about Iron Moth. This Pokemon is just really
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Needless to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly. You, yeah,
yeah. Okay. I think that leads me
it's a
on to
very
my
solid Pokemon.
7th pick, which
Let's
is
do it.
King Gambit. So
Gambito.
my thought process behind drafting King Gambit is basically okay. Right now, people can just spam their ghost moves into me pretty freely. I'm also
Yeah.
pretty weak to rock. What's a Pokemon that helps with
You
both
are.
of those? Okay, King Gambit. There you go.
Yeah.
But also, my other thinking was that because my team is so like hyper offensive, it's going to be so fast paced that just having a King Gambit at the end of like if you get through my five other Pokemon, having a King Gambit at the end of that is just going to be super annoying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
logic. That's literally my logic. And like, because like okay, for example, a Pokemon like Petulant into my team right now would be pretty annoying. Apart from like Thundurus Therian, Like, none of my Pokemon particularly love going against Petulant. Okay, Archaludon as well. But, like, my main Pokemon in the like, Palafin, like, Taunty doesn't hate, like, Petulant, but it doesn't love it either. It feels like a lot more
Yeah,
neutral.
yeah.
It's just a Pokemon to, like, help me with, like, ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, ghosts
Makes
especially.
sense. Makes sense.
And just, obviously this thing is going to... Well, everyone knows what Kingambit does. It's going to kick Sucker Punch. It's going to threaten, like, Swords Dance. But it could also be, like, AV. It could also be, like, type resist berries, so something like Choppleberry. Or, like, Shuckerberry is going to be really, really valuable. Or even, like, Air Balloon as well. Just... It's just going to be really, really useful. It's just going to add something that my team needed.
Exactly.
That's basically it. And, like, just something else to hit, like bulky fairies as well, because I don't really have anything to, like, super duper, like, hit them. Like no stab damage anyway. Like, I've got, like, Sludge Wave. Okay, actually, I've got Archaludon. But, like, against, like...
I would
against,
argument
like,
that
like Carmine
having the
Clefable,
Archaludon.
like Carmine Clefable is basically my thinking. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leafeon.
And Gyro Ball on the Fortress too, bro. Like, he can hit really hard.
Okay, yeah, fair. But I mean, Gyro Ball isn't gonna be the strongest move because Clefable isn't particularly fast.
Oh, yeah, true.
But
But
yeah.
against other fairies, yeah.
But against other fairy, yeah. I mean, against like Iron Valiant, for example, like Fortress is going to be a key player in that matchup.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
Everyone
Mystical, take us to your
Yeah.
next.
All right, my 7th pick is pretty similar to yours actually, because I realize I also have a pretty bad fire weakness at this point. I mean, quote-unquote pretty bad. My only weakness is Shaman at this point in time. But I you want a fire type, right? I have
Yeah.
pretty much in my last 4 picks, I've drafted a water type, a grass type, fire type. Makes sense to bring.
Yep.
And I think with Moltres, actually, I think Talonflame was still available at this point, but I just wanted like Moltres is actually surprisingly cheap for only 9 points.
Yeah,
and
this
for what I
is
needed to do,
pretty crazy.
there were times for what I needed to do, which is just to be like sort of a wall. It'll spread the occasional Will-O-Wisp. It'll do the occasional like hurricane damage, flamethrower damage. For what I needed to do, it's a very solid budget pick. I think it doesn't get defog in this gen, which is the one edge Talonflame actually has over Moltres is that it gets defogged. But like at this point, as like original Talonflame is like 10, or is it? I can double check. Talonflame is actually 11. So it's even more expensive than I thought. Like.
Yeah, that's an expensive Pokemon.
It's an expensive thing. But Moltres pretty much does the same thing better, but with better defenses. And
Moltres is a lot
U-turn
bulkier and stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
Talonflame has defog and the better speed, but I would say that Moltres is probably better, unless you're against a really, really like good hazard stacking team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like at that point, I always bring Mousehold, man. I always just bring it. If you have even like a single bit of strong hazards like your team, I'm bringing Mousehold every single time. Yeah. Anyways, but Moltres I think is just like you said. I wanted a fire type as well.
Yeah.
And they're all going like Incineroar. If I had gotten an Incineroar, that would have been actually pretty good because then I get Dark Fairy as well. But hey, honestly, beggars can't be choosers. And at where I am in the draft, I'm pretty lucky to get Moltres. For anything else goes, I'm just happy to have it.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised that Moltres was still on the board at this point because, like you said, for 9 points, this Pokemon's really, really like, good value.
Very solid, very good value.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alrighty. The Greyman, 8th pick. What we sent.
So for my next pick, just for the heck of it, I got Miss Magius. Because the Miss Magius has the 105 speed, which is pretty good. So she can be, in my opinion, she deserves more credit than what she's given. She can do. She has the levitate, and then she can also do. She can also do trick. She can do the Will-O-Wisp, the T-Wave. She can set up the Sunny Day if I need to. She has a 105 special attack. She learns the Nasty Plot.
For sure.
Yep.
And has a Terra Captain, she's my Terra Captain, by the way, my second Terra Captain.
What are the
I
Terra
decided
types?
First one, I decided to go for electric,
That makes sense.
because yeah, it has the levitate, and then because I'm on the red on Ghost, I decided to go normal, and she does learn the hyper voice as well, so that's gonna
Okay.
hit really
Okay, that's
hard.
cool.
And then she does learn what is it? Let me see. It's a very strong fairy move, so I also decided to go for the Terra.
It does say a dazzling gleam, and it also just honorable mention. Draining kiss is pretty
Yeah,
annoying.
I
Yeah.
Just
completely
get a
agree.
nasty plot. Draining kiss. It doesn't need much, honestly. Terra fairies, fairy. Like I said, I love fairy types. Then fairy types is pretty cool. But it's
Yeah,
got
I
like
would.
it go like Thunderwave. It could go
Mhm.
Hex.
Yeah, it
Like
can
it's
also go
actually
like
strong. I
Destiny
like.
Bond or Memento. Memento just to like help any of your like strong
Mhm.
Pokemon like set up.
Yeah,
Seems
I will.
useful.
I will argue that I would also think about changing one of the Terra types into fire because she does learn the mystical fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mystical
that's
Fire.
fair. That's fair.
Right. Yeah. And that's all I'm gonna say for the Miss Maggie is, I'm very excited to like she's. I think she can be really hard to prep for because like an opponent could be like, okay, what kind of Miss Magius are we looking for?
Yeah,
Are we looking for a support Miss Magius, an offensive Miss Magius? What's the deal here? So and has a Terra Captain, she can be even more annoying.
Yep.
I think it's a
And
very solid Pokemon for what you need it to do as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then when they were expecting like a nasty plot set, and then instead they get hit with Mean Look Perish Song, protect substitute.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing ideas to the wind.
Yeah, and thank you, because I didn't know that she learned Parish song.
Let's get Destiny Bond Memento if
Yeah,
you want to do
this Pokemon
it.
gets
Oh
like
yeah,
gets a
Honestly,
lot
that's
of
I'll
a
be
really
good one
honest.
good
too.
like
I
like
was looking
supporting
at this
moves.
Pokemon as well. If I didn't have a current weakness to Ghost, I was looking at this Pokemon as well. And honestly, it's a very solid
Hmm.
Pokemon. I
Yeah.
I think its speed is very solid. It's got deceptively bulky SPDF as well. 105 with 60 HP. Like
Yeah,
60 HP is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But with 105 speed, like and 105 defense, you're gonna be outspeeding a lot of stuff that you shouldn't really be that you shouldn't
Outspeeding,
be
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
outspeeding,
exactly.
right?
But then of course your like lower base HP stat is gonna make Pain Split like even more
Exactly.
potent. Like
Yeah.
this Pokemon is just it's a really really good Terra Captain because it
Hmm.
similar to a lot of like other stuff on your team, it just has like pretty good
Mhm.
set versatility.
Exactly.
It's going to be
Yeah.
difficult to predict what exactly it wants to click.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
as your team like is building together, Ghost type fits in pretty nicely. You get the spin blocker for your Landorus if you want to go
Yeah.
for that. Maybe your T Spike for your
Yeah.
Iron Moth as well. And it's okay. You also can't forget about Klefki. The
Yep.
like that guy's setting up all the spikes, and he got that spin blocker, and
Exactly.
it's pretty nice. Honestly, it's very solid. It's a very solid pick. I don't really, I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah.
All right, Mario fan, what do you have?
Okay.
What do you
My
have?
next pick was
What other
alluded to
disgusting
earlier.
thing you got?
So this round is the round I got Fortress because I'm like,
Oh.
okay, right now I need a rapid spinner, and I would
Mhm.
also appreciate the ability to set up other hazards other than sticky web.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Fortress does that.
Fortress does exactly that. I mean, I probably don't need to say too much. I'm probably going to want to run like heavy duty boots sturdy most weeks, unless I'm just planning on leading Fortress. In which case,
Yeah.
maybe I want to run like Ockerberry or like Custap Berry.
I still think you run sturdy, anyways. Like it's so.
Oh yeah, no. I'm going to be running sturdy unless I go against
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Moongus or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this thing base 140 defense. I'm probably going to want to run the body press, but it is like I can threaten like iron defense body press. I can
Yeah.
I can click like Thunderwave. Like it has Volt Switch for pivoting, which is really really nice.
Yeah.
Like
He's so good, you're
Yeah.
speechless, bro.
literally like it's just so good. Like most of the time, I'm probably gonna run like rapid spin, body pressed, Volt Switch,
Mhm.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
whichever hazard looks the best. Like that's probably
Yep.
what I'm gonna want to run most of the time.
And let me tell you, he can do a lot of damage to fast Pokemon, like I said with the Gyro Ball, and then he can
Yeah,
also
for sure.
learn the Body Press, which can do a lot of damage thanks to the defense on
Yeah, this thing's
Fortress.
defense stat being so high is just really, really good. It also has counter, which don't sleep on that
yeah.
move.
Yeah, yeah.
I could also run
exactly.
like a very annoying like resto chesto set or like rest sleep talk even with like body press and 9 defense. But this
Mhm.
is another Pokemon that has Rain Dance. So if I don't want to run the Pelipper,
Yeah,
I can just click
honestly.
the manual Rain Dance. Yeah, I think this Pokemon just
I see
adds
you doing
a
that.
lot of utility that my team needed.
Honestly, you
And-
could run all 3 hazard and steel beam. or
Quite
something. Like,
literally,
it's
I could
so
easily
strong.
run all 3 hazards and then like body press or rapid spin. Or like
Exactly right.
Yeah.
if I feel like I don't need rapid spin in a week, then at that point maybe I can. I do feel like I can go 3 hazards plus body press or volt switch or whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fortress.
I
it's
used to
just
run
it's just
all
a
3.
very very useful, very useful like role for what my team needed.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to say about Fortress. It's just really really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mystical. Who
Yeah.
did you pick?
Okay. If you look at my team right now, I have no physical attackers. Like Kira could maybe go physical some weeks. Like Shaman maybe could go physical some weeks. I have no physical attackers, so I mean I'm looking around, right? I'm still kind of
Yeah.
weak to fire at this point. Like I would want another fire. Like I don't want to be spammed with fire types.
Yeah,
So I decided to go for maybe a Lycan. I go for the Lycanroc Dusk. At first, I was thinking, okay, Lycanroc Terra could be pretty cool, but honestly, I'm not sure if I wanted to, like, spend or switch any of my Terra Captains that I already have.
Yeah.
So I do decide to go for Lycanroc Dusk, and at this point, like, it's probably the best option I have. It's very strong, and it gives me a good speed tier.
Yeah,
Which is
one
Definitely,
tenth.
My
definitely.
team is
That's
very
nice.
slow. My team is very slow.
It is pretty
I
slow.
think it
It's pretty
overall.
slow.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I've never used this Pokemon before, but it looks pretty cool, man. It's got
Yeah.
Stone Edge.
Mhm.
It's got a lot of random coverage. It gets like Psychic Fangs. It does get Roll Run. I'm pretty sure it gets.
Yeah,
It gets.
and of course,
Close
Tough
combat.
Claws. Tough Claws is a really really good ability as well.
Exactly, man. Like, not. You can't really say much about this. Obviously, the
Yeah.
defenses are like kind of pissed, but like, yeah, that's not what I'm using it for. It's got Fire Fang. It's got Iron Defense for some reason. It's got Brick Break. It's got Sucker Punch, Stealth Rock.
Yeah, it
Stone
is,
Edge. Like Trailblaze is
really,
a pretty
really
good Pokemon. It's
really
just
good
a
physical
Pokemon that I
moves.
wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just a Pokemon that I can bring some weeks. It might do what I need to do. It might not. But
Accelerock is also a really
if I
really
need
good move.
again,
Like,
yeah,
very
that's
nice
another
priority.
thing. That's the name.
Like,
That's the name. Accelerock.
A Tough Claws boosted
Accelerock, Close
Accelerock is going to
Combat,
be doing
Crunch,
big
and
damage.
Psychic Fangs.
Exactly.
Literally, also has
You
Sword
can't
Stance.
ask for more.
Like you could go
Oh,
like
really
Focus
can't.
Sash with
Yeah.
Sword Stance as well. Also an option. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
might
got
run the
really good moves.
Counter. I could run the random counter some days.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, you could absolutely just like lead it, Focus Sash,
Yeah.
threaten, counter, threaten, Stealth
Psychic
Rock.
Fangs to get rid of the screens.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like it also ends Brick Break if it's like a dark type, setting it up like a
Oh,
Great
exactly.
Snarl. It's a solid Pokemon.
Very-
I don't really have much to say. I needed a physical attacker and a fast attacker at this point because
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
have any of those. Tough Claws is such a nice move.
Yeah.
It boosts
Fair
Stone.
enough.
I don't think it boosts Stone Edge, but it does definitely boost close combat.
Yeah.
It boosts
any
Flare Off.
any
I know it
any
gets Flare Off.
contact moves.
Yeah, it gets. Yeah. Anyway.
Fair
Also
enough.
has Endeavor
I don't have
on
much
like
to
a
say.
Focus Sash lead set. Endeavor is also
Yeah, like
really nice.
literally, like this could be a pretty good lead. Like,
Yeah.
could be a pretty good lead.
I completely agree.
All right, we're wrapping in. We're almost coming to the end.
We are.
Yeah.
So I'll let Lucario Man take his 9th pick. So
All
just
right.
to remind.
So
yeah.
my ninth pick is actually an old favorite. I love bringing this guy. So I was gonna pick the Pincurchin, but then it
Ooh,
was
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
taken
yeah,
by
sniped,
like
wasn't
a
it?
Praetor. I was like,
Oh,
oh
I see.
no, you ASS.
Yeah.
So then a friend of mine, Pokemaster, he's like, bro,
Oh,
then
Pokemon, yeah.
yeah, you need somebody to like manually set up the the electric terrain. And
Yes.
although it's true that I have the item leaves and the item mod to do that, I don't want to waste an attack on those two because they're gonna be
Mhm.
attackers,
Yeah, that's
right?
fair. That's fair.
Exactly.
So I decided to go for the Kilowattrel.
Yep,
Kilowattrel is it's actually my fastest Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's
100.
very fast.
Yeah, 125. He can set up the electric terrain with no problem. He has a special attack of 105. He can also pivot. He could do the thunder wave. He could do the tailwind if
Mhm.
I don't want to do the electric terrain. He can, let's see, what else can he do? He has immunity to electric, immunity to ground as well.
It also
Yeah,
has an immunity to hurricane if you wanted to bring that.
yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
hurricane spam
Wind
is
wind power is
might
very
be
cool.
pretty good. Wind power is pretty cool.
Like
Doesn't really do
you can
much for you,
set
but
tailwind up for yourself and make yourself even stronger.
yeah,
Cool, very
yeah.
cool ability.
Honestly,
Yeah.
It
but it is
actually
an
has
attack.
three
It is
very
an
very good
attack,
abilities.
all of its
Ex-
abilities are definitely usable, which you can't say
Exactly.
much.
And so yeah, I have a lot of love for this Pokemon. Let me see what else it can bring. Um,
I think my favorite set on Kilowatt is just a strong spec set. Even if
yeah,
it's not like, even if it doesn't have rain up, you could click Thunder pretty freely because it's got very strong
Yeah, for sure.
special attack.
yeah,
Maybe I
exactly.
mean most of the time you're probably running boots. Like let's be honest, boot
Yeah,
for what you need. It's not exactly the Terra Captain, so I can understand like it's more of a support role, but it's got Thunder Wave.
Yeah,
It's going to
definitely.
slow everything else down.
yeah.
Solid. So it's very solid.
Tailwind, the electric terrain, to boost
Mhm.
Raging Bolt's attack. Overall, I think it's a really good Pokemon overall.
Yeah, I
Honestly.
think it's very very solid. It does it
All right.
it would appreciate being a Terra Captain, but it doesn't need it.
Yeah, it doesn't need it. Yeah. All right, Mario, take us through your next pick.
Okay, so my ninth pick, my penultimate pick,
Mm.
is
Mm.
Guja, not Hisuian, just regular Guja. Now,
Gudra.
I alluded to this earlier, but with hydration, if the rain is
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
you can't status me, which means I can run rest hydration with like 3 attacking moves and like who knows, maybe I want to run weakness policy because Guja, it's not the
Why not?
strongest, right? Base 100 attack, 110 special attack. It's not
And has a
it's
Terra
not the
Captain.
strongest.
He's also like not weak either. You know?
It's like it's very like it's decent, it's decently strong. Like, but it would appreciate a boost, which is where, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
maybe Sap Sipper could come in useful.
Yeah,
Gooey
for
is
sure.
also an interesting ability, but I will probably want to
Yeah.
default to either Sap Sipper or Hydration when I use this Pokemon.
Yeah, honestly.
But being like
Mhm.
a dragon like pseudo legendary, it gets like all the coverage. It gets so
Yeah.
much coverage. Weather Ball as
I
well,
would-
which is nice. But yep,
Yeah.
this is my second and final Terra Captain, and I have Terra Fairy,
Yep.
Mhm.
which
I would bring it
just very useful against
um,
other dragons, but also nice just
Mhm.
like defensively. It's Fairy's just such a good type, right? I don't need to sell anyone on how good a type Fairy is.
Mhm.
I also have Water, because Rain Team. If I want to threaten like stronger
Yeah.
Water type moves, I can do.
Of course.
And then the final
Poison.
type is Poison, because I don't have a granted Poison. Okay, well I do, but okay, I'll get to that. I'll get to that Pokemon last. But like, okay,
Huh.
I want
Yeah.
a real grounded Poison.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair.
But also, I actually also really liked Terra Poison for hitting, like just like fairies, like super effectively with like Sludge Bomb, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very nice Pokemon to like round out the team. Doesn't get like the greatest setup. Like it has Curse, which is interesting. Also has Acid Armor.
Acid
because
armor is pretty damn cool on that.
It's
Pokemon. It just doesn't
it's certainly
die.
cool. It's gonna be so unkillable. Like
Mhm.
because the stats are pretty weird distribution if you want to be like honest. Like 80 speed is like middling, not the best, not the worst. Then like
Right.
150 special defense. Like this Pokemon is so difficult to kill on the special side, but then
Yeah,
70 physical
exactly.
defense. But then if it does get like the acid armor up,
Mhm.
suddenly it's just impossible to kill on both sides. And
So
like, if I want to
strong.
set the rain up for myself, like I can run like rain
Yeah.
dance, rest, acid armor plus whatever coverage move looks best. Like just a
Yep.
set like that could be fun, you know. Like
Yeah.
that's basically what my thought process behind Grudra is. Like it's like I could have got like a Swift Swim Pokemon here instead, but I wanted something a bit more fun, and I think Grudra is exactly that. I think it's gonna be
It's
it's gonna be
so
difficult
strong
to
as
prep
a
for.
Terra Captain as well.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it as a Terra Captain because
Yeah.
Fairy is like one of the one types it doesn't actually have good coverage for, and I think you have the
Yeah.
coverage pretty nicely.
Scrolling through, I was like, what photo does it have? It has charm, but that's not going to
Does
do
have the
damage.
charm.
So yeah, threatening like Terra Blast Fairy is just going to be really really useful as well because Rain Team obviously Dragon is pretty good defensively. I can go Terra Fairy and just be much better.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm really happy with my Gudra pick. I think it's going to be really. I think it's apart from maybe
I
as well as
bet-
Arachnid. I
bet
think it's
you're
going to be
happy
one of the
with that
most
monster.
fun Pokemon to build with.
Mhm.
All right.
Mystical, what about you? What did you get?
Okay, so for my this is my I don't actually remember what I actually drafted, but I'll just tell you what I have in this slot. I decided that I had enough with my no hazard removal, and I decided to get
Mouse.
Mousehold. Yes, sir. Mousehold is actually a pretty good Pokemon.
Oh, it's a great
And
Pokemon.
honestly, like I said, if this guy's coming, it's not clicking anything but tidy up, maybe like
Yeah.
the occasional bullet seed. I don't know.
Mhm.
But all I'm saying
Hey,
is that this guy is
Population Bomb is a
not.
very good move. It's a very good move.
It's not clicking Population Bob in a draft format. Like,
But, okay.
come on, you're just if you see it, it's just it's at least one Pokemon. If you see it, is gonna have Rocky Helmet.
Yeah,
And then, like, sometimes
it's gonna
I don't
force
even
Rocky
need to
Helmet
bring-
prep, but you can. Okay, as someone who's used like Terra Mousehold, you can usually predict what the Rocky Helmet Pokemon is going to be. So, and if you're able to take care of it, Population Bomb is such a strong move, right?
It's so
But-
strong though.
And also, like,
yeah, no, I understand.
111 speed is really, really useful because there's so many, like, base 110s. Like, you've got the Lati Twins, you've got the Ogerpons, and, like, the Ogerpons
It's
can't
just
run
barely
Rocky
faster
Helmet.
than that.
So, I
Exactly.
loved Mousehold as, like an Ogerpon check, right? Because it has
Yeah.
Encore,
Yeah.
it can Encore them into Swords Dance, and then it can just click Population Bomb.
It's got
just
so
really,
many
really good.
support moves, man.
Yeah,
it's
it
got
does.
Thunder Wave as
One
well
of
for some
my-
reason. Like,
One of
Did
my...
you guys mention the Super Fang?
yeah, the Super Fang is definitely being clicked. If
Yeah,
I'm bringing this guy, it's going to have
Super Fang
Super
is
Fang. I
very
assure
useful.
you.
Yeah.
I assure you, it's going to have Super Fang.
One of my
Alright.
favourite sets that I ran was like a Flame Orb Switcheroo set, and I just led it and I clicked Switcheroo turn 1 and I crippled a Hisui and Avalugg. It was very cool.
I see. I didn't even know this mod got switcheroo. That's pretty cool, actually.
Switcheroo's it's very useful, and like
Yeah.
Technician, like
Mhm.
you can run like Water Pulse into my rain team if you really wanted.
Yeah,
Go
and he
for
does
go for
learn the
confusion.
U-turn too.
Yeah, U-turn is a very good move.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the support Pokemon. I'm pretty weak to Ghost types at the moment. I don't have a Ghost resist, and now I do.
Now you
So-
Very true.
Now I do.
And also,
Fair enough.
Bite is boosted by Technician, so Bite is funny
It
enough
is.
one of the strongest moves this Pokemon can run, which I think is funny.
I have some heat
Yeah.
tech that you won't be expecting. By the
Ki-
way, I got
King's Rock is
gross.
banned. King's Rock is banned. You can't.
No,
you
no,
can't,
no,
you
no,
can't
it's
go for
not
the
great. It's
60%
not King's
flinches with
Rock.
Bite.
Just my all my moves will be hitting. And that's all I was saying. All my moves will be hitting.
Okay, bring
Nice.
the gravity Slowking into me. Then it's fine.
Yeah, I'm bringing Gravity
Yeah.
Clefable and we'll protect the Pat's Mousehold. Have fun. Solve
Yeah.
2 birds with one stone.
Oh no!
Okay, anyways.
All my moves will hit as well.
Alright.
What will I do?
I'm gonna do my last two in
Yeah,
a
and
row
then I'll
if you
go
guys
do-
don't
Yeah, go for
mind.
it.
'Cause
Yeah, go for it,
I
go
gotta
for
go
it.
eat some dinner before I head to work. But so at this point, again I have a weakness to I'm on the red on Ghost and again on
mhm,
Ice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So first I wanted a lantern, but I don't remember who took it. Whoever's building the the monotype electric, I forgot who it is.
Oh yeah. I also don't remember, but I know exactly which team you're on about.
Yeah.
Maybe I,
I
have
do
it,
remember.
actually.
Was it here it is. Willow.
Yes.
Yeah, Willow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took it, so I'm like, all right, so I need a normal type, and I also need a normal type that can rapid spin. And so I decided to go for the Kamala. I have never used
I love.
Kamala
Okay.
before,
Okay, that's
so
cool.
the Kamala, he does learn the knockoff, so that's
Yep.
pretty good.
Yep.
He learns the rapid spin that can increase the speed. And then check this out. He has an attack of 115. Like that is
Dude,
really
it's so
good.
strong. And honestly, every time I've seen this guy, he's only been used as a terror captain because the Sleep Talk Last Resort set is so strong. And I'm gonna be honest, if because I'm pretty sure you drafted this before me. If Kamalo is still available, I would have went for it over Mousel just because it's such a cool
Hmm.
Pokemon to use. I've never used
Yeah.
it
It
before.
is.
And it
Yeah.
honestly, if you have terror points to spare, like maybe if you don't like Iron Leaves or something, it's definitely a very
Hmm.
solid budget terror captain as well. Like
For
Terra
sure.
Normal is so strong with
Hmm.
this Pokemon. I think the Calyx against like Kyurem or something, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
If I remember them. But
Yep.
yeah.
So he does learn U-turn, knockoff, rapid
Mhm,
spin. He can sword
mhm.
stance. He can bulk up. For a primary stab, he learns
Yep.
the body slam, double edge. He can substitute. Overall,
Mhm,
he's a really strong Pokemon. I think I'm really excited to use him, and that gives me at least one immunity to Ghost.
Yeah.
mhm.
And then later on, who did I get on? Oh, you know what? I got Tatsugiri, because he's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
rapid spinner, and then it's a Pokemon that might have been able to substitute Raging Bolt in case I don't want to bring him because
Mhm,
the
mhm, mhm.
Tatsugiri, he can get the speed boost from the rapid spin and has a 120 special attack.
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not
Yeah, so
anything.
it's not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the 137 of Raging Bolt, but 120 still pretty good.
Yeah. Very
But then
respectable.
later on, I ended up trading it for the Lantern. So
Mhm.
the
I like
Lantern
Lantern.
does,
Yes.
yeah, Lantern has, what's the HP on this thing? 125. That's the
That's
same
a
as
bit more than I
Raging
thought.
Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, 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 very bulky.
Eh, Yeah, and then he learns the flip turn, the volt switch, the thunder wave. He can sleep talk,
Mhm.
he can rest, and then he can give me immunity to electric or to water, like whatever I
Yeah,
need for
for
that
sure.
particular week.
Honestly, like I feel like water is so nice for you because it just makes sure Iron Moth doesn't die, Lander's Therian doesn't die, and you can just volt switch
Exactly.
around stuff
Yeah,
or flip
for
turn,
sure.
whichever. And I've used this guy before. He is very good defensively, but aside from that, he doesn't
Hmm.
really do much. But for this team, it doesn't really need
Yeah, I think
like
it
a
makes sense.
defensive Pokemon is all it needs really.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, it's
I
Yeah.
think
just it's
I think
another
it works.
Pokemon that can also click like electric terrain and then click flip turn. I think I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I
That's
think it
true.
certainly has some use. And
Hmm.
definitely
Volta
usable.
Absorb and Water Absorb are two excellent abilities as well.
Yeah,
Oh, they are.
honestly. All right. I don't want to hold
All
you up.
right,
You
guys.
can get to your thing. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us,
thanks for
man.
joining.
It's been fun.
Very fun.
Yeah, thank you for the invite, and
No problem.
hopefully we
Yeah.
can do more.
I'm down. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
some
me
other
too.
stuff in mind if you are down to join
Yeah,
up
yeah,
here.
yeah. You're planning some very very big, very fun things.
Exactly. In
All
any
right
case,
then.
take care, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
See
Yeah,
ya.
Was
take
fun
care.
chatting.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Cool guy. All right.
Okay.
I'll move on to my final pick, and you can move on to yours, and then we'll call it.
All right.
My last pick was actually Sableye, but because I'm dumb and I thought Sableye was 3 points, not 4, I had okay. If I had Sableye or Spiritomb, I would literally have every type. But
Which is
in
cool.
any case, it's just cool. Like it doesn't really do much, but it's pretty cool. But instead, I drafted Sableye, but then I said, okay, but then the admins called me. I was like, okay, you can't do that. So I decided to go for Luxury as my final pick. It is kind of like, it's got Thunder Wave, it's got Intim, it's got Volt Switch. It'll do, right? It'll do. If it
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
need be, it's another like,
For like a 3-pointer, like it's fine,
like
you
you
know.
can't really ask for much more. I don't have an electric type currently. It's good for Volt Switch. I might Super Fang here. It's not much it can do, but it's
Yeah.
solid, right? I
Like-
can definitely see myself bring it. It's definitely not like a thing where I never bring it. And you're staying at home.
Yeah,
But-
I think maybe like the best sec it can run is like an agility flame orb set with like supercell slam. Like if there's no
Yeah, it
ground
does
type,
get
like
Trailblaze, it does
supercell
get
slam,
Facade Gut.
facade. Like it gets the fang move, so you can run like ice fang for the Landorus Therian,
Mm-hmm.
or like the Gliscor. Like it's It
But yeah, it's like
it'll have a
it does,
niche.
like
It'll
it's
have a
not.
niche.
I'm not expecting it too much. You know.
Yeah,
I'm not like
exactly.
don't expect it too much. And if it can't do anything, it's better than what it. You know.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair. Like for 3 points, like you never really expect your 3 points to do like
Right,
too
exactly,
much,
exactly.
but like I'm sure at some point Luxray could look decent. You know,
Yeah, in certain matchups maybe. All right, your last pick is
my
this.
final
This
pick.
guy might never come. This guy might never come.
This guy
I was
might
saying
never-
that. You
okay.
know what this.
So okay, so for some context, right? For my final pick, I went to sleep and on call I told Zachman, okay, can you get Murkrow for me, please? And he forgot which one I wanted, and so he picked Fungus because I did mention Fungus before, and I was like, it doesn't really matter which one it is, to be fair. So like, who actually cares? This thing is going to run Eviolite. This thing is going to be my Trick Room answer. So if you bring Trick Room into me, Levion, then all I'm saying is expect the Fungus.
What am I trick rooming with? Or my cure was fast as shit.
Yeah.
All my guys are pretty fast.
Well,
Anyways.
yeah, but you know, I have Sticky Web. You know, you've got
Yeah.
Slowking.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, this thing is gonna click Spore. I mean, if it comes, it's gonna click Spore. It can't really run Synthesis because obviously Rain is gonna be up. It can run like Foul Play. Like honestly, like Spore, Clear Smog, Foul Play, and like. Who actually cares what the last move? Okay, you know what? It has Rain Dance. There you go. It can click Rain Dance if necessary. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Toxic, it's got Stun Spore.
Yeah. It has Toxic, Stun Spore. Like,
not much you can do.
it can do something. Now, okay,
It can do something.
It was going to be Mercury, but I honestly did not care enough to like change this in Grace.
It's 1 point, like, again,
Yeah,
what the
like-
hell are you gonna
like
do?
it's 1 point. Like if like
And you
I was
need
thinking
10
Mercury
Pokemon,
because
right?
it has like Prankster Rain Dance, Prankster Tailwind. Like if you've played like VGC, like Regulation A through like C, like you know what Mercury does. It basically would have been that like exact same set but in singles, which I think would have been funny.
I mean, definitely works.
Because
Definitely works as
I
well.
have drafted Mercury before in the one VGC league I took part in, and it was excellent, really good. But yeah, like it really doesn't
Yeah, I
matter.
mean, there's really not much to
My
say.
final
and
pick
I think
is pretty inconsequential. It's a
Yeah,
1
like,
point
if
Fungus,
this-
you know, like hooray! It's going to take less damage from 5-time moves. CP. Like,
yeah, and I think that just about closes it out. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I think we have
that's my
very
final pick.
strong drafts. I honestly, Lucario Man's draft is very scary to go up against. Like I said, it's such a solid team. Your team is obviously very solid, and we're gonna have to fight
Yep.
for Rivals Week, anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's on that.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
pretty
am.
fun.
I'm looking forward to this matchup. I cannot
Hmm.
like I've made like a first draft of the team I want to bring into you, and
I haven't thought,
I
to be honest.
just because I honestly I just wanted to start building with this team because it looks so fun to build with.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair. That's fair.
Because yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think I'll be honest. I think out of the three, I think my team is probably the strongest. Just because I was able to get like quite
I think
literally
the
every
immediate
single
pressure
Pokemon
with your
that I
team
wanted.
is definitely the
Yeah,
strongest.
it's like-
immediate pressure,
This-
Thundersphere,
yeah, like-
Tornadus, Palafin.
This
Archaladon
is
even, like,
a
it's very
generation where hyper offense like reigns supreme. So
Hyper
the
offense
fact
is
I
so
have a
good in
hyper
this
offensive team is like, yeah, okay, go figure, right?
Just
But,
in
like-
general, Hyper Offense Gen 9 is so strong.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's
like,
definitely the best.
I do
ever
like
been.
it is a rain team, so it's going to be counterable. It's like it's not going to be the most consistent form of hyper offense because it is rain.
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, like I don't need rain like to be up. Like I can definitely very easily just go like a non-rain mode. Like Araquanid, it doesn't need rain to be up. You know, like maybe I want to run the Terraguja instead. I just threaten like Terraghost Araquanid because like maybe webs look really good and I don't want to run Pelipper. For example, I currently have Willow's team shown on the screen right now, and as you can see, quite literally every single Pokemon here, all 12 of them are electric types. So, funnily enough, this is probably my worst matchup. The mono electric team, which I think is really funny.
Yes. It's an interesting team, man. I don't know. I mean, he has almost all of the Rotom forms. He just
yeah,
needs
which is
Rotom 5.
so funny. Like this team is really
Yeah.
funny to look at, and you can't sleep on the Terra or Koyo Pom Pom either. But that's probably my worst matchup, just because I have so many like electric weak Pokemon. Like Archaludon is gonna have to put in like all the work in that game. Like
Let's see what might be my worst matchup. I don't like the Golden Go team. Honestly, Twisted Games' team is very strong.
yeah,
We were all saying
yeah,
that.
Twisted.
We were all saying, bro has all the hazards he hit in the game. He's Gamora and
Literally.
and he's got a stupid Vikavolt as
Yeah,
well.
he's got Terra Vikavolt too. I think
Yeah.
Zachman also has an excellent team.
Very scary.
Like there was definitely some
Zach
point
Mander's
where
team
I
is
was
also
looking at
very
this team
interesting.
as like, this might be the strongest team in the league, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know. I'm always gonna say it. Spectre is kind of. I think it's always garbage. If I'm being honest.
Zach
For what
Mander. Zach
might
Mander
be
knows
20 points.
he knows how to use Spectre well is the problem. Like if it was just anyone using Spectre, then like I'd agree. But Zach Mander knows how to use Spectre.
But then it's got Sneasler. Okay, it's gonna be an annoying team to break for sure. But
Because like here's the thing, Spectre and Sneasler pair so well. Like also you got to look at his speed tiers. He has like all the speed. Like
yeah,
all the
he's
speed.
got really good speed tiers. Yeah,
And he
that's facts.
probably has. I don't know if I can definitively say it's the best Terra Captain, but it's definitely like top 3, like maybe top
Jugulis,
5. But like Jugulis,
definitely.
like such a
Yeah,
good
let's see.
Terra Captain.
Let's see. I mean, let's look at the Terra Captains. Arachnid's probably up there.
Arachnid's up there.
Mega's probably
Yan Mega
up
is
there.
also really cool. I agree.
Lucario is kind of cool. Like that mod will never not be solid as a
Terra Lucario is
Captain.
really good. Yeah.
So strong.
Terra Diancie is also
Cyclizar
very
is
solid.
solid. Oh, I didn't even know that Monkatera. Yeah, no, that's facts. Terra Diancie is a monster.
I think Terra Hyperia could go pretty far.
Terra Ripe, that mod's
Polmart
always
just
such
has a lot of strength.
pain. Such a pain to deal with. Palmot's kind of whatever. Registeel, I don't know how well.
Registeel
that
is
would
going to be
be-
annoying, but Terra Iron Leaves actually. Oh, okay, actually no. Kaz's Terra Iron Thorns might be number 1.
Iron Thorns I just got in another draft I'm doing. It seems pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just
Very
like
strong.
boost your energy, like attack into like
Mm-hmm.
getting rid of your horrible rock electric typing is just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like very very solid like Terra Captains. Just like scrolling through them, yeah. There's a lot of cool Terra options. There's a lot. There's also like a lot of like cool teams as well.
Yeah. I think that's about it though. There's not really else much to say. This is draft analysis. We might do tier list, who knows, but this is going to be a very scary division, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Everybody has really good teams. There's not like any team that's like definitively bad. Maybe like the Will-O-Wisp team because it is monotype. Like we're always going to struggle with monotype, but it's definitely
fair.
It's going to be a very strong draft. Honestly, I overlooked the one with Gouging Fire, Grimmsnarl, Rillaboom. That team is fucking scary. Jesus Christ, that team is scary. The Terragon Mega one.
Yeah.
The second one. That team is scary.
This team does look pretty
That
good
team
as
is
well,
scary.
actually.
to pick.
Yeah.
There's a
that's
lot
true.
of there's not like a terrible team. It's gonna be a good season though. I think it's gonna be a good season no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think it's going to be content, you know. This is the content division. This is where people will upload their games and have to as well. So people are going to be bringing like fire sets, like it's going to be really really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can say for everyone in this league that I am looking forward to this league a lot.
Honestly, we got very strong teams out here, and it's gonna be cool.
Cass's double
I think with
team is also
that,
very funny.
we'll end it here, guys.
Yeah.
There's nobody watching here, by the way. There's no way in hell anybody's watching all the way this far. But
Hey, you never know.
let's say
Zach
it
Mander
anyways.
likes the yap. Zach Mander
Look
likes
at-
he likes the yap. Trust.
Look, please make sure to check out Lucario Man. Everybody else, this is uploaded required, so we'll get a pace with all that
Hell yeah.
due time when the actual drafts come out.
Ooh.
But for now, obviously check out Mario Fan, check out Lucario Man, who is
Yeah.
here.
I will have
Yeah.
everyone in the description. I'll have you both added in my title as well. Like, we'll be able to check each other out from like the videos. We've been recording for like 2 hours, nearly 10
2
minutes.
hours.
That's so
10
funny.
minutes. We'll call it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
And I'll see you in the first draft battle. This is actually coming up next
Hell
week.
yeah.
Is it starting next week? The 10th, right? Or is it next week?
I think
Is it 18th or 10th?
I think week 1 starts the 10th.
Okay, yeah, and then we'll get the video by the that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
I think.
we'll see you guys.
Yeah, see ya.
And
Bye-bye.